folks, welcome to Mosaic Team 5. I'm Joe, your Game Master, for this session of our Starfinder campaign, and joining me are my friends, Matt, Dan, Olive, and Kara. Ari is not with us this evening. Ari is in Vermont. We miss you very much, and we hope that you are doing well. A couple of quick announcements before we get into our game. First of all, we have a website, albronrpg.com. It was just updated last night. We have brand new logos from the companies of this campaign. Anubis Dynamics, the group that makes many of the starships. Let me just turn this down just a tad. Harbinger, the group that made the robotics that you all were involved with. And then finally, the Freshies gang, the antagonistic force relating to Ari's people. So all those are now on our website, albronrpg.com. At albronrpg is our handle on all social media, including YouTube now. And then finally, tomorrow we are going to be playing session 125, I believe, of Adventures in Albaron. Oh, maybe. I always get thrown. It's
like 135 or something.
I have it. Oh, I have 125 open, but very well maybe 135.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
We're way up there. This is a campaign that's 4 years in the making. We're finally on the very last stretch
Final arc
of this campaign. So as they battle their way through Calypso's, they will be facing off against a very familiar opponent. That is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then finally, we have Sirenscape for sound effects, music, like this cabaret battle in the background. Bam! Real loud. That and more. Sirenscape is a digital tool set that you can use to add sound effects to your games, to your birthday parties, to whatever you want. Sirenscape, digital tool set. Check that out. And with that,
not a sponsor.
Get into our recap. Not a sponsor,
but would be probably the best sponsor for us.
Should be.
We have no sponsors, but if you want to sponsor
us, reach out to Sirenscape. You know, like we write a song about them.
Yeah, that's you can only get sponsorship by courting them as a bard.
Yeah.
No. So if you do want to sponsor us, feel free. Shoot us an email at work@albronrpg.com. We would love that. But Mosaic Team 5. Let me pull us into our recap here. What are you doing over there, Matt?
Trying to get Dan's attention.
I thought that was like a little booster thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were having a problem.
It's like it's November. Is this turkey?
Yeah, right.
Do we need to call someone?
Prep for Thanksgiving.
Code Blue? All right. We haven't worked in the hospital for a long time.
Yeah.
Gotta get away from those.
Not Code Blue.
Mosaic Team 5, last that we played, all of you found yourselves confronting the fallout of your frog battle. Having slayed this massive frog hemoth on the beach, having faced down a bald woman who looked familiar to Bubs, all of you returned, heading off in the direction of your abode. You made your way home, I believe, before you went to the ship, right? I believe so.
Yeah.
Because you had a little bit of time where Echo was sitting alone with Peep, declining to mention that there had been a massive fistfight on the beach between Diego and Spice. Also, that you had fought a huge frog monster while being recorded by Cynthia Sweet, a Infosphere influencer. Celia Sweet, sorry. After that, Peep, dejected, went to bed, convinced that you were all probably on the cusp of being fired. You all decided that you would take one more trip on this eventful night and made your way back to your ship. There, you talked with Efi, Echo, you having her wait in the cockpit as the rest of the group discussed. You spent a little bit of time addressing various things aboard the ship. And then, you decided that all of you would leave, leaving Red behind, safe in the bathroom, or actually now relocated, very helpfully by Ari's character Gibbs, into the med bay. With everybody in the car. What?
Yeah.
I forgot about time at the bar.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I did forget about that. So much happened last week. Sorry guys, it's been a day today. I've been training people for like 9 hours straight. There was a period where you did go to the bar, Sunday morning. Upon meeting William the Pleaser, this contact that for you, Echo, you had been speaking with and sort of dancing around to the other members, you trusted Bubs to come with you. Although your plan to sneak away unchecked by the group somewhat rattled and then ultimately completely disbanded when everybody piled into the car with you. You all went to this bar you met William the Pleaser and managed to find out a little bit about Spice's deal. Although, William clearly knew much more. You were unable to press more details without trading important intel, however. For the information that you did get, Echo, you and Bubs traded elements of Bubs' backstory, talking a little bit about this mutagen and indicating that there might be another person who possesses this. William was not convinced that Spice was the real deal and asked that you bring her in, but ultimately you decided not to, and made your way now over to the ship. Knowing a little bit more about the deal and understanding that Spice's debt had been divvied up among several people, Red included, you had conversations about what to do next. Gibbs relocated Red to the medbay. The rest of the group traveled to the car, leaving Echo and Shade. Though you had not communicated this overtly, there was an understanding reached at some point, whereupon Red was a little bit too dangerous to keep alive, at least to keep everything efficient and tidy here in Mosaic Team 5. Almost without any interaction, Shade, you went out to the car, kept the group distracted, shepherded them in, and then in this beautiful moment, almost timed to Bubs turning the radio on, and as this Sopranos-like Italian aria burst over the radio, in the medbay, Echo, you depressed the trigger of this silenced pistol gifted you from Peep, trusting you to use this in your one mission and then return it, which none of you have done, and executed Red, point blank, wiping this person out forever. The rest of the group drove off, completely unaware that this had happened. And you had all learned from Peep at the end of last week's session that the stakes were now extremely high. If you succeed, and taking into account the additional press that you have all accumulated through all 4 days of your time here in Ara's Bay, it has only been 4 days, you would yeah, I know. You would be propelled.
Has it really only been 4 days?
Oh yeah. You're on the 5th day.
Oh my god. Did
This
I get
media
fired on the
attention
second?
will propel you forward in the rankings of bounty hunters, and if you fail, there may not be a place for any of you in Mosaic any longer. Echo, at one point you had intimated that it would be wise for everybody to read their contracts, and perhaps that will come into play. But Peep left you all with, in short, after this mission, your next mission is either going to be borderline suicide or whatever you want, depending entirely upon the success or failure. And that is where we are beginning this evening.
Wait, say that again? So our next mission is borderline suicide or what?
Ultimately, if you guys succeed here, you are going to jump forward in the rankings. You guys are going to be in a position where you can start calling your own bounties. If you guys decide, you know what, we want to go to Akaton next, that's where you're headed. If you guys decide the freshies need to be dealt with, you guys can head there. Peep, as his role, will find bounties for you in the places that you want to go. This represents your progress forward into another level. This also represents you moving forward in the bounty hunting ranks to a place where you are finally worthy of some level of respect.
Wow.
Ouch.
I want that so badly.
Wow, respect.
You will
No.
finally
This really
outrank-
is a fantasy.
I mean, Diego currently... That's rough.
Ouch.
Diego is currently outranking you guys still, so...
What?
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I mean, you saw him get beat up.
Yeah, but we're outranking that goblin at the bar, so
Yeah,
we got one.
we're in the middle.
We outranked the goblin, everyone. We're winning.
Technically, you outrank... They're a group, so you outrank all of them.
We outranked
We got one.
all of the gremlins.
That's 6 of them.
6.
So not quite as bad as Space Goblins,
So we are
but
seventh
not
to
quite
last.
as good as Space Cowboys.
If you meet them, you will probably understand why they have that name. I'll leave it at that. Turn that music down just a tad. So, all of you now back at 13 Whispering Palm Road. This abode that at one point was really supposed to be a low-key vacation, almost time off for you guys. Now, transitioning to a much more urgent mission. You've been told by Peep you need to move forward. You need to start executing this plan tonight. So Mosaic Team 5, what do you all want to do?
Execute the plan.
We don't
Um,
have teams.
Okay.
So Shade has been like working out the best approach for
Howdy,
this
John.
in the background, like for probably like a day now or so. Right?
Yeah. You've had the exocortex just going.
Yeah. Has anything come up that would be like blueprints of the space or like any sort of information about Maldross? Anything that would be useful? If not,
You're searching for blueprints of TerraMater?
yeah, like
Make a culture check.
While he's doing that, can I make Dr. Maldross and TerraMatter my bounty?
Yeah.
As my thing?
So
and as
think,
a RP sense that I want to do check the bounty forums and also maybe just like news sites about RS Bay and like the environment.
make a culture check. Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff like
dirty
that.
20.
Stuff.
Ooh, that's
some stuff.
17 plus 5.
What about
Nice.
our lockout?
22.
Plus
I don't
No,
want to
that's-
leave RS Bay before a lockout.
Nope, all done.
tournament.
We're about to take out the
Zero.
main funder
So-
of the
As you peruse the infosphere, Shade, all of a sudden you bring up TerraMatter's public website. And right there, not on the homepage, but maybe like a page or two deep, you're able to find the blueprints underneath the visitors section. And you can see the blueprints for the first floor clearly laid out. You can see the loading and arrival zone where one might arrive. You can see everything laid out exactly as you see it. There is no detail about the rooms, which would be unusual, but there is just a basic floor plan.
So the names of the rooms aren't on the map?
They are.
Oh, they are. Okay.
cool. Okay. That's good to know.
Dan, as Bubs, you hit the infosphere yourself, pulling up like your communicator and just going across the various forms that you have spent a lot of time on. These are forms that you don't find just off a main search engine. You really need to be vetted into these communities. And so when you find information here, it's usually pretty reliable. Dr. Maldross is somebody who comes up never directly. Nobody's ever looking for Dr. Maldross. Patient of Dr. Maldross. You see other tertiary connections. This person runs perpendicular to the law quite often. You never find anything. This guy's record clean. Once or twice, there will be people you do find who are saying, "Who is Dr. Maldross?" And then you see, going further into this thread, this is on coolbountyboards.infosphere, you find somebody who says, "I always find Dr. Maldross whenever I'm looking for people anywhere near Seoul. Who is this guy?" You see another person and just says, "You suck," and then the next line, "First," and then the next line, "First," and then you see, it's like a whole bunch more like that, a bunch of memes. And with that check, you kind of like get lost in this sort of thread. There's not a lot of information there, but you are becoming more and more certain that definitely he is connected to things beyond just this.
So given what we know, and given that they know that we're coming, or that like when we do go, they're gonna know, we should probably just go to the check-in area, right? And like, I don't know, deal
I wish
with
we
it.
had Gibbs to tell us where Dr. Maldross was.
Mm,
To pinpoint the location.
Before they left the ship, Echo would have tried to like clean.
clean up and dispose of.
No problem. Taking a little bit of time, and I would say at some point you would definitely have the director chime in and say, "Do you require assistance?" If you say yes, for the first time, nobody's asked this question. For the very first time, somewhere in the hallways, you would hear this little, like a little flap door, and then you hear this little, and then slowly, like a little Roomba.
Echo just like
It's-
pokes their head out the door.
It's shaped almost like a wedge, and you can see like debris accumulating and going up the wedge and falling into this little basket as it just kind of like moves along. And then it hits like a patch of blood and it makes like a little streak. And then you see it stop. these little brushes spurt out and just begin to wind and like wipe it up.
Bubs has found his new crush.
It's spice.
And one of the things that you notice, you look at that and you're like, what? You look and you begin to go like room to room. There are little doors in most rooms. This thing can like move independent through the ship. There are passageways for it to move. So it could theoretically be set to clean constantly.
Does it clean under the fridge? Though?
You're not there.
Oh, I wish I knew it cleaned under the
Director.
fridge.
As much as I love this handy companion you have provided, it would be well advised to keep it out of Gibbs' personal space.
Noted. You can see the little robot just veers away from the bed. No problem.
Echo would like disconnect any like monitoring equipment. It is basically going to take the body and shove it into the little like compartment that they were told about.
The hidden storage.
The hidden storage
compartment
area.
with all of the food pucks.
So you move this tile aside. First of all, the smell is not great. Nobody's been down here for 4 days. It's just like old stale beef jerky just wafts up. The little robot, you can actually hear spin and like begin to head in your direction. It almost like senses the air. But you pull the body and kind of wrapped up as it is, deposit it below. No problem. It's there.
Any suggestions, Director, that you have for disposal of the garbage on the ship would be most appreciated.
Echo, if you can fit the body in the main thruster housing, it will be incinerated upon start.
Echo like goes over the schematics of the ship that they first pulled up when they were like looking into the computer systems,
Yeah.
and realizes that the main thrusters are outside.
So you see the little metal part that intrudes inside. You can actually slide a portion of that away, and that's designed to access. Because obviously, if something broke on the outside, you don't want to do a spacewalk if you don't have to. If
Correct.
you can fix the machinery from the inside, absolutely. So there's a way to close off all the little propellers that spin. They become flat to create a vacuum, and then you're able to enter even in space. So no problem. It's almost perfect. It's designed to fit a person for maintenance.
Echo like again struggles to pull the body out of the compartment.
Yeah, sure.
And Echo's not strong. And then just like drags it over to the thrusters.
Sure. No problem.
And then says, "This is almost a little too handy." And yeah, once they feel the ship is clean, thanks the director and heads out to meet everyone.
Sprints.
So
It's not noteworthy anymore. Echo's been sprinting all over the
Yeah.
city.
you can see like Echo's just, and you can just see, Mom, there they go. And then just like, the people are like, there's probably somebody who's designing an app where it's like, where is Rocco? And like people are tracking this super fast robot around. But
As Echo leaves the port, they're just like, "Bye, Roy."
so, yeah, you exit. So for the rest of you, the two of you spending a little bit of time on the Infosphere Spice, are you doing anything?
Yeah, calming down from her anxiety attack.
Yeah.
She's gonna turn to Bubbles, who I assume they're doing their little
Yeah.
them thing.
He's like on his phone, just like.
Yeah, man, totally.
Yeah.
Hang on, I found some cool stuff in this thread.
She's like, "Excuse me." She doesn't do that. She's gonna go, "Bubba, you ready? The time is now. Are we gonna go?"
You mean go?
I feel like well, I'm gonna ask you. Are you ready to go see Emma? Are you ready to go see Dr. Maldross?
Oh, that go.
That go.
I'm nervous. I don't know what I'll remember there. I've spent so much time there. So much memories that I've kept locked away, and I'm scared.
Do you remember what you asked me to do?
I do.
I don't want that to come up, Bubble. Do you understand that?
I'm gonna put down my phone. I'm gonna grab both her arms.
I understand, but Look, everything's so fragile in this world. This time I spent with you. You know, I've only been on this ship with you guys for a couple of months, but it feels like a lifetime. And no matter what happens to me, I want you to enjoy life how I have.
Bubbles, I'm not gonna go on without you.
If something happens to me, you have to. That's the part of life that is so precious. The moments that you live for. Finding love, losing love. Finding joy when you can have it. Grabbing onto it and never letting go.
Bubbles, I want you to make a promise to me now.
Well, what is the promise?
I want you to promise to forgive me when I take my life after I take yours.
How?
I am not living on this world
Is
without
she
you.
just like sitting on the couch while this is happening?
Yeah,
Like,
good question. Are you guys just like hanging out and Peep is just like, guys? Or like, what context is this happening in?
I don't care. Spice doesn't care where it's happening.
Bubs?
Bubs is, wow.
How can you? Okay,
Maybe
I
should
promise. But, you know, I'm always pretty bad at keeping my promises anyway, so maybe we don't have to do these silly things after all.
I fucking hope not.
At this point, I'm kind of like having like a nervous laugh, and I'm gonna lift her up with like my strong arms and like carry her like in a fireman carry.
Not the weak ones, the strong ones.
Yeah. And do like a fireman carry, and
You know, there's one more promise I think we could make to each other.
What's that?
Well, it's upstairs. Let me show you.
Okay.
I guess I'll just work on the plan myself. Then.
Bye. Have fun.
Does it go back
Let
now?
us know.
I would say not quite yet.
Okay.
As you two make your way upstairs, you can see Peep like lean. The door just opens from his room, and he leans out and he goes, "Oh, good. Are you guys done with your plan?"
Oh, no.
Okay.
We're not even there anymore. Are we?
You guys went upstairs, right?
yeah, he's
Yeah,
talking
we're
to
not
us.
Peep's bedroom is the first one,
Yeah, he's
so
talking
he's
to
just
us.
like opening the door and is
Oh,
just
I
like
thought you were
leaning
talking
out.
to Shade and Echo.
No. So he's leaning out and he just goes, "Well, you guys need to get this done. Where are you going?"
We
Oh.
have some business before we fucking
Oh,
die,
God.
Beep.
Okay.
Be back in a bit.
Okay.
She slams the door.
And there's like a moment where the camera just looks at Peep, who's just like trying to go to sleep, but now he's like, "Oh, I've heard this before. I know I'm not going to go to sleep."
Better
You
turn
see
on
the-
that white noise.
The ears just like go down. He looks around for a little bit and just kind of closes his door. But yeah, sure.
And I imagine we're probably gonna. We'll wait for Echo to come back. I imagine.
It takes
Why?
like 20 seconds.
Oh, it takes like 20 seconds. That's all Bubs needs.
Oh.
I'm just.
Word.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and clip that. So, Echo, you arrive.
I don't know if I want Echo to arrive now.
Sorry, it happens, unfortunately.
Shade's probably just sitting on the couch, like working on a plan, petting Squeak.
Multitasking.
Yeah, just like petting Squeak, working on a plan with the exocortex. Probably got stuff laid out on the table, and Bubs and Spice nowhere to be seen.
Echo like comes in, kind of surveys, gives a little like. I do not think we will get our deposit back on the rental.
I think that's inconsequential to our current situation.
Indeed.
How did everything go?
He is in the main thruster for takeoff.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I would ping up the map that I have found so that we can like look at it as a team of
Oh.
2 androids.
This will be most useful. Are Bubs and Spice out on a reconnaissance mission?
No. Bubs
And then
and Spice are.
I would imagine Echo like hears. Echo's like, oh.
The sound of whips.
Is this another one of those times where I do not want to enter the armory?
Yes.
Understood. Perhaps it is for the best. We can formulate a plan more quickly.
You're probably right.
It's so tempting to play the Wilhelm scream and then just be like, oh, I guess they're done.
That hurt. Ah, so
oh god!
good.
Oh god, no! Fade to black! Fade to black!
Anyhow,
3 hours later. Oh, I'm thirsty.
7 days later, it's like you guys just going
Yes.
We're not on
alone.
the fucking trip.
Yeah,
You come down,
Mosaic Team
Echo and
5 is
Shane
now
are just
Mosaic
like
Team
clips
2.
empty, just like
We did it.
Maldress is like in a corner.
Wow, that was the most successful mission yet.
Okay.
We made so much money.
well, it was like, I'm just trying to write everything down for you. You said you wanted all the details? All the secrets?
Please continue with your monologue. We are taking notes.
With
Easy.
this map, could I locate relative to here where the security gate was that I have a back door in?
Sure. I don't have the Auras Bay map out, do I?
No.
That's it.
I'm trying to figure out, like, is there a way that we can go in through the front, like, as if we're just going with the knowledge that they know that we're coming, but still also having this backup of, like, we can kind of, like, fry their systems or something and, like, pull a fast one on them discreetly?
You mean act like we're going in the front door, but then go out of the back door or something?
Well, like, act like we will go through the front door, but, like,
So if you look at Auras Bay,
have something set up.
you can see TerraMatter, literally almost
Oh,
one-to-one
so it's
scale.
like 1-to-1?
Yeah.
Okay,
And so you imagine the
So
main
boom,
entrance.
boom.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
cool. And we got the gate was the one that was back here on the beach area, right?
Correct.
So it would be by the Project Green Cornucopia Labs.
Perhaps.
Or no,
and
it
what I
would be
will
by
say
the
is, Shade,
Eclipse. Yeah.
as you kind of go around this map, the only thing as you move your mental cursor over it that actually does light up is Project Green Cornucopia.
Mhm.
There's like a public access page about it, and this seems to be, as you go through it, it's an initiative to use some kind of chemical process to create food. And it proposes that you can create, right now they're creating vegetables and really simple carbohydrates, but the idea is proteins and things of that nature will be possible in the future.
They were working on that in Chowek, Genetic Solutions.
They were working on
Yeah,
similar things,
something
yeah.
similar.
Yeah, I remember that.
And also that would probably line up with any sort of genetic modifications that they were making on that frog, right?
You want to go ahead and make a life sciences check to answer that question?
Hell yeah, I do. That cocked.
I keep forgetting to make a close-up camera. I'll do that this week.
Oh, I wish
Of
that it
dice
wasn't
rolls?
cocked.
No, but like, so for D&D, I have one camera that's literally just the battle cam, and so that way we can make a like screen wide, yeah, for the map.
Oh.
But I haven't done that for Starfinder because I keep forgetting.
Oh, it was just a 12.
A 12. I would say with the 12, hard to tell. Definitely there seem to be similar projects, but looking for more sources of food is kind of a universal thing.
Right. Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Shade, there is something that concerns me about this map.
What?
There is quite a bit of empty space for a research laboratory, and the broom closet is centrally located.
When you look at that broom closet, and it's literally one of the biggest rooms on that map, and without even a roll, as Echo brings that up, that's kind of suspicious.
That is very strange.
There is no reason for a broom closet to be so large, although it would explain some of Bub's quirks.
Why would they label it the broom closet on their public domain app?
Why would you allow secret rooms to be labeled on a public map at all?
Why would you even put them on the map?
Perhaps it is not a room, but merely a corridor.
Regardless of what we do, we should try to find a way in there when we get to the labs.
Indeed. In fact, I would consider that, as well as the office of Dr. Meldros, to be a main priority.
I would agree. We have a back door through their security system, but it's separate from the mainframe.
That will allow us one entrance, but it will not allow us multiple exits.
No. But maybe there's a way that we can use that as a failsafe.
In what way?
We have very little information to go on, and we're pressed for time. It's good to have some escape route planned out.
How many breach charges were you gifted by Peep?
How many breach charges was a gifted by Peep?
It's not multiple charges. There's a big block of this kind of like Semtex like stuff, and you can stick it, but it's enough for you to burst through a one wall. It's one application of breaching charges.
Okay. I gotcha.
Similar to how the booster for Gibbs works one time.
Okay.
Another disposable item.
Yeah, let's see if that...
That is not quite enough to give us multiple options, but it is perhaps a method to gain access to the back gate. It would be wise to have a getaway vehicle near the beach.
Yes. We sent Efi away, though.
I believe that is for the best.
I would agree. It would be easier if we had someone who could just leave it there, though. We're going to need all of us inside.
Joe, would Echo remember how late the Chili Cove rental shop is open?
The Chili Cove rental shop? You mean the car?
The shop that rented out the jet skis.
Open till about 5 p.m. Definitely closed by now.
Shit.
But, I mean... Oh, it's 1 p.m. No, sorry. You absolutely could go out and grab one. 2 p.m. But yeah, you could definitely do it.
If we were to rent some jet skis, we could have them waiting for us at the beach, stashed away under the pier.
Jet ski escape. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's
I'm
almost
setting you up for glory.
I've ever heard.
Oh.
That would help maintain discretion.
And it would not represent a loss in equipment that Mosaic could fine us for if we were to abandon them, as they would be secured to the pier.
We should go and get those. It seems like we'll have a little bit of time at least.
Do you require more time to formulate the plan completely?
Yes, but we can work on it on the way.
Agreed. If you require, I can drive so that you can devote more processing power to the plan.
Okay.
No, I was about to recommend if Echo would say, like, put on some of Gibbs' Heelys, but Gibbs would never let those go.
As they leave, I
Gibbs
imagine
might.
it's the post-quarterless Bubs and Spice hazy smoky room
Sure.
that we all have come to love.
Some more than others, but
Yes.
sure.
Just us.
Yes.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Peep
The
especially.
Ari just said
Deposit.
never.
Not even for shade? Not even for shade.
Get matching ones.
Babe, I am a little bit worried. I know I said I have it together, but ever since we got into this Aura Bay, I haven't been able to think straight.
Bobby, that scares me.
It scares me too. I'm afraid that once I go there, I'll see things that remind me of the Institute, of the orphanage. Dr. Maldros had a certain kind of aesthetic that he kind of enforced. I remember he had this analog clock on the wall. They were everywhere. It's the same style. I swear, sometimes it moved backwards. It wasn't the training that broke me. It wasn't the constant injections or the constant torture. It was time. Constantly watching that clock and seeing the outside world pass. Time rots everything. even hope.
Well, if you think about it, the future is also time, and we have a future together if we make it through this.
I never thought of it like that. I've always viewed time as an enemy, as something always laughing at me in a corner. But when I see you in the future and what we could be together, I never thought I could look at time like that.
Time is our friend now. We have forever together if we make it through this.
Forever.
And I'm gonna
Forever.
grab our hands.
I would love to spend forever with you.
Are you ready to spend forever with me?
Of course.
Bubs, you got a message. Bleep. As you look at your comms.
Please, not Kevin.
It's from Kevin.
Is it from Kevin?
It is from
No
Kevin.
way!
And you can just see, oh, I'm just waking up. I had so much fun last night.
Aww.
But nothing can last forever. Thanks. And then that's the message.
Oh my god. Prescient.
Kevin is the big bad.
It's true. I'm
You get another message, and this one says, hey, did you find my left shoe? And then another one, JK, I found it.
It was on my right foot.
I'm gonna text him back.
Kevin, things aren't what they seem to be with me. I want you to know that even though I may have lied to you about who I was, that our friendship was real.
Spice is gonna see you texting this and say, it sounds like you're not planning on coming back, Bubbles.
I mean, I'm just used to time always laughing at me, and I don't know. Maybe I won't. I know
Bubbles, I don't want to go into this if you think you're not gonna come out.
we have to. I know it's going to be hard when we go in there. Staring at those clocks. Seeing those hands never move. But we have to force time to move forward. We have to go in there.
I know we have to go in there, but you sound like you're not gonna come out. And that's why I don't want to go in.
There's no guarantee of anything in this world.
You've been so bleak about this one, though. All the other bounties have been fine, and then this one, I get it, you have a personal connection. But we're coming out of this one, Bubbles.
You don't get it!
And I'm gonna like knock over like a lamp and like push it over and like break it.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And he's like gonna touch his nose and see if there's any blood on his nose.
There's none.
What don't I get? You're not talking to me.
It's hard to talk. When every time you think of it, your brain is hijacked by these feelings that you don't know if it's your past, you don't know if it's the thought of this looming fog around everything that constantly just feels like someone's just walking into your life.
Bubbles, I walked into your life. She takes Bubbles' hands in her face, in her hands. She's like, Bubbles, we can do this. You have me. You can trust me.
At
We
this
are
point, the
one.
door just flies open, and Peep just jumps in and goes, is everybody okay? I heard something break.
We're okay, Pete.
You're alright.
Okay. Whatever you guys are doing, just remember we do have a deposit on this house. I don't want to shame you or anything, but please, Don't break anything. Oh,
Peep.
the lamp. Just clean that up, okay? He
Okay.
just shuts the door and goes back to his room.
Bub's just gonna get like a
all of it
dustpan and he's gonna start cleaning because he knows that kind of brings him a little bit of peace.
Who I'm talking about
Cleaning for peace.
is the 5th child.
What
She-
about them?
Hunter. It's like a fog, and then I see in my brain or something. It's like someone is opening a door in the fog that doesn't exist, and then they come up upon me, and they just know I'm there, and I'm paralyzed. I can't move, and they just peer right into my soul and just rip it right out.
Is Hunter one of your siblings?
Not genetic, but in the same way Emma's my sibling,
Are
you
you
know.
afraid of Hunter?
I am.
Do you think Hunter's gonna be where we're going tonight?
On the report that we got from Jade, it said that he had escaped.
So maybe it's just Emma. Which is a whole nother can of worms that I don't know if we have time to get into.
But why do I have this feeling? Why?
And I'm gonna look down at the glass, the vase or lamp, whatever I broke.
I didn't mean to break this, but when I thought of Hunter, when I thought about going into that institute, into TerraMater,
Not Bubbles. Spice takes her hand, she does the thumb thing. Baby, calm down. I'm
All
right
right.
here.
It's just, I know that most likely Hunter is not in the institute. They probably escaped and off doing their own thing, but I can't help it. It's in my mind. Every thought feels like a chance for it to be one where someone's walking through a fog and opening a door, and I can't do anything to close that door and not let them just grasp at me.
And Spice, in a lot of ways, this mimics your own experience. You now have this debt that has been accumulated by several people who, at any point, could reach out and affect your life trying to collect on that. There are definitely parallels there.
Well, Baba, you're not alone.
He's gonna smile as he like pours the contents of the broken vase into like a trash barrel.
Yeah.
I never thought I was.
Alright. Put on your best glamour suit and let's go do this.
He's gonna look at like the pack of cigarettes that they share.
When when Peep came in, were you guys just naked?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, clean that.
I feel like at this point, he's just like, whatever.
Yeah. He's gonna look into our pack of cigarettes.
You should get that birthmark checked.
Our last two.
Which one?
I don't think that's a birthmark.
They say the last two cigarettes are your luckies.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just light both of them up. But I'm gonna like cherry mine and like put it to hers and
Yeah.
as I'm inhaling.
I love you, don't forget that. Not even when you're so scared. Not even when you're in the face of all those clocks and Hunter. I love you.
I love you too.
And then I just exhale a bunch of smoke.
Sure.
And like I like to imagine the fog kind of goes into the camera.
Yeah.
Like the anime that is their games first person view and kind of like fogs up the view and kind of creates a fog
So
like
you're
in the
making
world.
a transition.
Yeah,
Science
transition.
And then that fog gets a little bit blue and a little bit lighter, and then it kind of like zooms out, and it's just Echo looking at Squeak, and Squeak is asleep and like breathing, and it's just condensing, and then like going back, and you're back downstairs.
Well, we're going in the car.
So we're gone.
The two of you in the car, no problem.
Probably would take Squeak though.
Okay.
With Unless Gibbs wanted to watch Squeak while we went.
Gibbs, are you watching Squeak?
Gibbs will watch. So, the two of you taking a car, and where are you headed?
The rental
rental,
shop to get
yeah.
the jet skis.
Okay, no problem. You don't need to role play that unless you really want to. You can go and rent jet skis. I have to look up the price. I believe it's 5 credits each. 1 second. Let me search in my drive at jet ski. It's been a second since those prices were up.
Inflation, I'm telling you.
Do it for shade, Gibbs.
Oh, why do you hate Squeak?
No, that's a handy haversack.
Squeak is our sweet boy.
All right, that is the
Squeak
Galactic
and
Predator, the Jacinto Violet Kraken jet ski. There we go. Okay. Sorry, 10 credits gets you a rental for the day. You're supposed to return it by 5 o'clock. You get the sense that you probably won't. If you do ask about that, they're going to charge you for the craft until you return it. It's a 6,000 credit craft. Just something
God
to
damn
keep in
it.
mind.
Of course it is.
Can we rent it for multiple days?
No, this is really like a marina. So you're going in, you're riding it around. You know that there's the barrier out there that will prevent you from going further, and that huge storm rises up on the other side, so you wouldn't really want to.
So they don't have like a multi-day rental pass or something?
No.
No.
And you would imagine on a tourist destination like this, you really want to create that demand. You don't want to have people having them out for multiple days.
Right. Well, we only need it for the day, right?
We need it for the evening.
Yeah.
Echo's relationship with renting things is a little tenuous.
You don't say.
Echo's in so much debt.
So are you putting down 60, or sorry, are you putting down 50 slash 28,000 credits, depending on how you look at it?
I don't have that much.
So, which one is the rental beach?
The rental beach is not pictured.
It's
Right-
like far
right
away.
up- yeah.
I believe
Which
like this side.
Yeah, right down there,
Yeah.
a little bit down this direction.
Can I like boop 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 on the exocortex to find a better rental option?
Yeah, there's many different rental options. That being said, most of them designed on this day model. Without having to put too much time into this, go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
You can always
Echo
charge
would
it.
also not tell them.
I also figured that.
17?
17.
You can also charge the Mosaic accounts.
You could also do that.
Yeah.
But as you're kind of talking to this person and he gets a sense that you're looking for a multi-day option, he would say, like, give me 20 credits, not to the vendor account. Just it's basically a equivalent of cash at me that,
Yeah.
and no problem. Just return it in a couple of days.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I'll pay him. It's 10 credits per, right?
It's gonna be 20 credits per with this deal. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was gonna just do like 20 credits per, and then give him the extra 20 on the side.
Cool.
So like pay for 2 days for each of the crafts, plus an extra 20 like tip.
Sure, no problem. Mark that off. You all have
So
jet
it's
skis. 5 of them.
$120.
5?
Would you like more?
6.
Well, how many people can this jet ski hold?
You could definitely double up on a jet ski.
Because now we have the problem of how do we get the jet skis over?
Yeah.
Echo would have suggested 2. Would Shade say no to
Yeah,
that?
that makes sense.
2.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
much
get to it.
cheaper. Mark that off. And Spice, you're not there, unfortunately.
I know.
So
That stinks.
it does, doesn't it?
That's why I was frantically trying to point at the map at you, but it's okay.
Splitting the party's rough. So no problem. You rent your jet skis.
Echo's just thinking of a clean getaway.
I
Is there
respect
anywhere
that.
that you guys want to go from the jet ski place, or you headed back home?
There's not really anywhere else that we can go that's gonna be of use to us except for going to the labs, but we can't do that alone, right? Unless, do you have a thought?
We will want to resupply our weaponry as well as any other supplies we think would be necessary to gain entry to the lab, but I think the best option is to stash the jet skis somewhere secure and then return.
Is there a place? So this is where the security gate was, roughly, right?
Yeah, it's
So
the
this-
exterior of those two dotted lines
Yeah.
bracketing that little wood area.
Is there a place along this shoreline that we could stash them secretly?
I was
discreetly?
thinking about stashing it under the pier.
This pier.
And you actually have pretty good ideas about that pier. You've been there a couple times, and actually,
I went swimming there.
you did. And you would
Many of our
remember, you actually
companions
went
were
swimming at the
swimming
pier over there, but you could
Yeah.
still see underneath. There are all kinds of areas where the pier has been built into rocky outcroppings, and you could like bring a jet ski pretty close and then just lash it to the wood. Easy enough, no problem.
Yeah.
If they are not required, we can return for them at a later time. Or not, in which case it will not matter.
That seems like our best option.
Indeed. We should return to the house to grab our companions. It is getting late, and I will need to head back to the car to get it and return home.
Agreed. I'll meet you there.
No problem. Eventually, all of you reconstitute back at the house. It would be about 3 p.m. Is there anything that you guys were doing ahead of that? Okay.
I think maybe post sex, but also post fight, but also post makeup
Makeup sex.
was makeup sex, and then after that,
That too.
so like she's going
Glasses
to
of
start,
water?
loading on her armor, like getting ready for this.
Yeah.
But she's gonna go to Peep and knock on Peep's door.
You could see he opens it. Yeah, what do you want?
It's okay, I'm dressed, and but it's like unzipped.
You can see he's like, okay, I guess technically you're not lying. What do you want, Spice?
She like holds up the map that Shade found on her communicator, and she's like, "What was that syndrome that you have again?" I'm sorry, I don't
Ellipses
remember.
syndrome?
She points at the spot on the map where it says Ellipses Syndrome Laboratory. Is it spelled like that?
Yeah, that's what I have.
Why?
That's a TerraMater?
Yeah.
That's weird. It's probably nothing. Nobody's been able to do anything about my condition for forever.
But look at the size of the laboratory on that map. Aren't you curious?
Spice size doesn't matter, okay? It
So
really
as
doesn't.
she throws her hands up, of course
You can
it
see he's
doesn't.
really small, and he's just like, it really doesn't. And also,
It's all about the hands anyway, don't get me wrong.
I really appreciate it, Spice, but I really, my whole life, this has been something that I've really dealt with, and it's just research. Don't focus on that. You need to get Dr. Maldross.
Alright, I was just going to invite you along if you wanted to come check it out, but if that's not something you want to look at, we've got it, don't worry.
If you go by, I mean, it's gonna be nothing. Don't worry about it. Just focus on Dr. Maldross, and please try not to bring any more expenses. This is getting really expensive. We're not gonna make a ton of money, and this was supposed to be close to 500,000 credits.
I'll do my best. But you got any more of those fun guns back there? Peep, you got anything for this mission?
No,
She,
nobody returned any of the guns that I lent all of you.
She flicks hers out. She's like, I still got it. Don't worry, Peep. Trust me a little bit.
Okay. Still, I explicitly asked for all of you to return it, and none of you did. If I even did have any weapons, I wouldn't lend them out anymore because they never come back.
I thought we were returning them after the mission.
I also
They were specifically designed for the mission that you guys. It was to help clean up after yourselves with that little
okay.
showcase.
Glass
I thought
bar.
it
Yes.
Oh.
that
Yeah.
wasn't clear.
I
thought
didn't
it
know
was.
that either.
I thought it was.
I thought it
Go
was
back
this
and watch.
whole
It's pretty clear.
mission.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, fair enough.
I would have given it back had I known.
And regardless, I don't have anything else. I gave you guys everything that I have, everything that Vest sent, everything that I had from the old team. I mean, I had
Not
other
even
stuff,
some
but
healing potions.
I don't have anything. That's really Gibbs' job. She's the medical officer.
I know.
She was saying she got some kind of portable surgical suite or something like that, so that will probably help.
She probably has that on her person. Gibbs
Yeah.
wouldn't have had. Yes, right. Alright. I just thought you might be interested in that laboratory.
I just try not to get my hopes up about stuff that's not going to work out.
Oh, Pete.
Ouch.
Keep your hopes up. Something will happen for you, I promise.
I mean,
It might not be us, but something will.
he smiles a little bit and he says, I'll be honest with you guys, I've had worse teams before.
Spice laughs out loud. Really? You've had worse than me, Pete.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean...
Like who?
Don't tell anybody that. Well, make a diplomacy check, actually. You don't get gossip for free. You don't get intercompany gossip for free.
That's Spice's. Of course she wants to know. Let's see.
Give us that tea, Pete.
18?
When we used to do the junior Mosaic program and we had people do smaller missions up front, we didn't start people with bounty work directly. I managed somebody named Javier, who you probably recognize from Mosaic Team 1. He
Mosaic
talks a
Team
pretty
1?
big
Like the
game.
top of the top? Mosaic Team 1?
Yeah, and I think actually because they were on vacation for a week last week, they're not top anymore. I think they're third best in the galaxy, but that's going to change probably. They've been number one for like ever. But before he was in that team, he was just a little punk. I mean, he grew up on the human homeworld, and he said that made him special for some reason, and he walks around like he's royalty or something. But really, he's an okay shot with the pistol, and that's kind of it. He has a good team around him, and he always has, and that's what makes him good.
Oh my god! What is his team like?
Look, you're losing track of something that's really important. If you want to talk about the other Mosaic team things, maybe we can do that at one of the company functions.
I haven't been invited to a company function, Peep.
Well, we haven't had one since you joined. I mean, it's March. I think the next one is probably in June.
Peep, I might die tonight, though. I'm really nervous about this one because Bubbles is acting fucking weird.
What do you mean?
He is having a tough time with the personal attachments with this one. And I'm nervous he's gonna lose his cool. And you know, I love him, and that means I'm not gonna make it out either.
That seems really dramatic.
I know!
Why does it have to be like that? Why can't we just do this mission? And if we're successful, as we should be, just extract and just continue on.
Great. You know, Peep, you really put it into perspective.
Really? That's all it took? Okay. I mean,
yes and no. I want to see it that way, but unfortunately, I feel like my in-laws are involved at this point, so
in-laws.
We're not married yet.
He shakes his head and he goes, regardless, it's hard. Sometimes when you do this job, you run into personal attachments. It's not always this direct, but...
Would you know, Peep?
But I know what?
Running into personal attachments on the mission.
You're trying to get into my personal life, and I don't understand why.
I am.
Focus on Dr.
I love
Maldras.
you, Peep, and I want to trust you. If you tell me, I'll trust you.
Make a diplomacy check. Take a -2 conditional modifier.
Why -2?
Peep is an untrusting person.
It's not that he's untrusting. It's just that he doesn't trust Spice.
Ooh, not gonna be good.
He has your personal file.
14. No, I mean, not awful, but not as good as it could have been.
I really appreciate that, but I'm your boss. Why can everybody not stop telling me they love me or hugging me? Don't get me wrong. I do appreciate that. I guess it's kind of crazy that I'm complaining about it, but I'm your boss, please. Just, can we focus on Dr. Maldras?
Yes, she throws her hands up. We trust you, Peep, in a way that, I don't know, it feels real and it feels different. And she, walks out the door.
You can see he's like, and he's almost like he wants to say something, but you just hear, after a brief hesitation, the door shuts as well.
Okay.
No problem. slowly, by about 3:30, all of you, if you wish, can convene downstairs and decide what you're going to do. Shade, do you have a plan that you're going to lay out for everybody?
Like,
Do you want to talk
Shade
about it?
wants to,
Sorry.
but
I'm
I
ready
don't
to
think I have a
participate
plan.
if you
Yeah,
want
I'm
to.
ready to
Bubs and Spice are like, okay, we're ready.
We can talk about a plan now that I've got off.
Putting it very delicately.
Okay.
Bubs is like limping down the stairs.
got like.
He's got a whole hammer up his ass. Don't forget.
Handle first. No, hammer first.
Hammer first.
Oh,
Don't
that's
get it
worse.
right.
That's worse. You want to go
Shade.
handle first.
Echo Corporation was terrible. However, we did have some species resources operatives who were concerned about these types of relationships. Is this not the case with Mosaic?
These types of relationships.
Indeed.
Nobody's brought it up to sentient resources.
I don't care.
Understood. And Echo goes back to looking at the
Probably
plan.
Talk to Nazma.
Nazma would be somebody you could talk to. However, Nazma is mostly related to your guys' public image.
Oh, he's not sentient resources.
No,
Who's
you
the
guys have
sentient
never
resources
talked to
officer?
sentient
Yeah.
resources. Weird how you guys would never ever
Yeah.
think about that. But some of you may know that sentient resources is a separate department. It's a department of one.
Yeah.
It is a vastly overworked computer that is a 10-foot long terminal of robotic arms and screens that is called S1R3.
You could
Sire?
bring it to S1R3.
SR13.
S1R3.
S1R3, sorry, yeah. Sentient 1R Resources 3.
I shall debate it, but I don't. We should continue formulating a plan.
So, given my understanding of the situation, it seems like they're going to anticipate our arrival. We should play into that. Not try anything funny, not try anything suspicious, go in through the front.
I mean, it's worked for us in the past.
Unfortunately, our faces are plastered all over the Invisphere. They will be aware of our identities to a degree, or at least that we do not belong at the labs.
I don't think that there's much point in us trying to conceal our identities now. They know that we're coming. They'll know when we arrive.
I do not believe a casual approach would be advantageous in this situation.
No, but our priority should be getting in safely and getting out safely.
Understood.
Right.
It's going to be difficult to do that if we go in guns blazing.
Diplomacy prevails every time, doesn't it? Even with androids. I don't know about this one.
Echo slow blinks. There have been
You think we
multiple-
can talk our way out of this one?
There have been multiple instances in which I am unable to talk my way out of a situation, Spice, as you might have realized.
Maybe for you, but I'm pretty sure Shade talked his way out pretty smooth with Red. It took a minute, if I recall correctly, but
Shade's just like,
maybe we can talk our way out of this one. What do you guys think? We walk in there, we're like, ding dong, we're here for Dr. Maldross. Can we have a chat?
Is it still guns blazing if the guns are in our hands?
Yeah. I mean, if we look at, she like looks around the room, everyone's loaded up with to the nines with all of their gear. We're obviously going in. The only person who can maybe conceal their shit is Bubbles.
And you can see Bubs just like activates the glamour projector, and like the whole hammer disappears, the armor disappears, just
Yes.
Bubs in his.
We don't have that.
It's still set to GIMP, so it's just the GIMP version. And then there's like the, and it like fizzles over to the regular outfit.
Would it be necessary for all of us to go through the front door?
I think if we don't, they'll suspect something. But I do think that subterfuge is our best option.
Do we go in as our covers and be like, "Hi, it's me, Donna, the bartender"?
Certainly not. I believe
Well,
Emma's
We
involvement.
want to do a pop-up here at your laboratory.
it might work.
I love that idea.
I
We
believe
can try.
I believe Emma's involvement has erased all potential that our covers could be intact.
Ugh, you guys are always no fun.
I am very fun.
You know, you are, Echo. Yes, you are.
Sorry, I was losing it a little bit over there. That was so funny to me.
There are so many things I don't know about you, Echo, that I wish I did and that you would tell me.
Bubs is gonna glance at Echo and then look away.
We're losing focus.
You're right.
We
We're
have
also
very
losing
little
time.
time.
Alright, what's the plan?
We shall all enter through the main entrance. Priorities include reaching the Project Green Cornucopia Labs as well as the Broom Closet.
Why the broom closet?
It's not a broom closet.
What do you think it is?
We
It is
don't
too
know.
large to be just a broom closet and is centrally located. I don't know about human architecture very much, but I believe no one would put a broom closet at the center, the most important part of the lab, as well as the most well protected.
When I was in the institute, they had tons of trapdoors and hidden rooms all the time. That checks out.
Also, look at the blank space for the lab. It is very easy to tell that there is more than is shown on this public access map. After all, I would not put certain compartments from Directive 0 onto a map for someone I do not know. Therefore, TerraMater would keep certain high-level operations under wraps.
That's alright, Echo. So that means this map is not all the way true.
It's the public facade. However, it probably is true that security is to the left of the general reception area.
Indeed.
I think it would make sense to try and secure that location.
Bubbles,
Perhaps
do you
the
remember
generator shed. Take control of the systems as quickly as we can.
Would you prefer if I were to do so?
I think it would probably be best if I did. I can do it remotely,
Understood.
if I can get close enough, and if we can create a distraction.
Bubbles, can you confirm that this map is correct? From your memory?
I mean, like I said, Dr. Maldros, he had a certain sway with all the kind of bosses. He had a certain aesthetic that he had, a certain design, a certain way of building the hallways and things that had to be certain ways. It's fuzzy to me, but I can look at the map and see if I can try to remember anything.
Can I roll to see if
Yeah,
I, like,
you can. Go ahead and make a full intelligence check. I love it.
Can I have this guy?
I guess so.
You do on my dice?
should-
You
That's an 8.
You need to roll ours. It's like across the table thing.
Yeah,
I
it's a hilarity switch.
consistently roll high, so please borrow some of my
Plus
dice.
0.
Okay.
You did roll better with my dice.
Does this count
I think
part
we
of my
just
bounty
need to-
hunter thing?
This is specifically to tell. I would say
It's about
no.
Dr. Maldros.
It's not about your. This is really not about bounty hunting relating to Dr. Maldros. This is about Dr. Maldros's interior
Yeah,
taste and design.
Yeah.
What I would say is with that roll, you look at this and it's a map. It's a general overview. And though there are these long corridors, which you definitely remember
Yeah,
were a part
yeah.
of his design aesthetic, a lot of places have them. They help you get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
They are an adequate means of transport.
They are.
I can't remember anything, guys. I'm sorry.
That's
It's alright, baby.
Bubbles, have you been to this facility before? This specific facility?
I don't think so. I think the original facility that I was on before was on Prime Station.
Then there is nothing to be sorry for.
Would the generator shed, if it were to be sabotaged, create some openings within the security system?
You would imagine so.
Presumably. Okay.
I would say, Shade, you know enough to imagine there's probably backup power, but no way could it power everything. Probably disabling the generator would certainly disable things. Would it completely eliminate any sense of subterfuge? Yes. So things to consider, but yeah, definitely that would be a powerful move.
If we are to create a distraction, Spice, I believe you have the best chance of success at creating a formidable distraction.
I can do my best.
We also have some supplies from Bess.
Yes, can you hand those out again? And by hand those out, can I see that sheet again?
I can't find it. I think I gave it to
It's okay.
someone
Ari
last.
sent me a picture.
Yeah,
I think
I
Ari's
gave it
got
to
it.
someone last week, and now I don't have.
Ari's
the
coming in
stuff.
clutch even when she's not.
Thanks, Ari.
Thanks, Ari.
It's in the
I
Discord.
don't. Yeah, it was in the.
We have a Discord.
Yes, first thing that comes up.
So we've got the drone, which I don't see how it would be useful in an indoor setting.
I mean, let's bring it anyway.
Yeah, we'll leave it in the car.
Why would we leave it in the car?
We should want to set it up so that we
Well,
can
to
scout.
remotely scout outside or something.
Indeed. We would want to make sure it is ready for operations, and that the signal maintains connection inside the laboratory.
The zip line looks kind of fun.
That would probably be more useful for an escape, if necessary. If we're going through the front.
Mosaic wall breeze charges. Bubby, you look like you might like that one.
Oh, well,
That will be
I-
required in the event of a backdoor escape.
I like
You
how
don't
this
have
whole
to punch
plan
through it.
is just Spice being like, "We got this cool toy," and the android parents going, "No, no, no, we have a plan for that." And Spice going,
Spice-
"Oh,
Alright, so tell me your plan for the poison lipstick, Echo.
That we
Is-
have decided to leave to you, Spice.
Okay.
We feel you will make the best use of it.
I think I would too.
that was the most troubling laugh I've ever heard."
While they're doing this, could I we have something called synth sleeves, which is like a can of like environmental protection in a can.
Yeah.
Would I be able to coat my
I got
armor
those
in
for
that?
everyone.
It's specifically sleeves. So
Okay, yeah.
Your arms, yes,
It's like the rubber gloves.
Yeah, yeah.
that, you
that go
put
onto like
into-
here basically, but
yeah.
you just spray them on.
Is there how long it lasts? Time limit on them?
I believe it's 2 hours.
Okay.
Give me a second, I can look.
It may make sense to use the breaching charge on the generator in case.
We shall reserve it as a failsafe in case we are
Exactly.
unable to destroy it remotely.
Yes.
As well, I shall be your failsafe in case for some reason you are unable to reach the security bay.
There's one thing. Emma is IC, right? So I assume she's gonna be defending Maldras.
Yes.
Do we have anything that can break ice, melt
Yeah.
ice?
well, that's.
And I'm gonna pull out the synth sleeves.
It can't really break ice, but if we can spray this,
I think it's a spray can.
It is a spray can, yeah.
maybe we could.
So is it just like a sleeves, or are you gonna allow us to spray it?
What I would say is,
Yeah.
I would say you can spray it. I would say it probably takes 3 applications to apply to a whole person.
An unwilling person sounds.
And that, yeah, I mean, you're going to lose some in that struggle.
Each
you-
one canister has 10 applications, and we have 2.
Okay, yeah, then you have enough.
2 each.
Yeah.
Because
So
I made you guys field kits that no one's used.
Thanks, Scoutmaster.
We could spray this on ourselves. You know, it only lasts.
actually, I think it lasts for longer than 2 hours.
1 hour before flaking off.
Oh, okay, 1 hour. Yeah, okay.
It only lasts for an hour, but you know, we'll be protected at least somewhat from, you know, her icy cold ways. But
I wish I had my fucking dragon's breath right now. But there's no augmentation, people.
yeah,
I'm gonna hand out like enough applications. There's 20, I believe. So I'm
We
gonna
each have
Everybody has
2
2 cans. Each person.
Perfect.
And the field kits that I made everyone.
Oh, everyone has 2 cans?
Yes!
Perfect. Okay.
Oh my god, I gave you a whole backpack with shit!
Dan,
Aka's here.
Shade gave you a backpack.
Yeah.
And in it, I think there was 1 or 2 cans.
There's 2 cans.
No,
in each
I
of
wrote it
them.
down,
I know.
but I thought that was like for the entire crew.
No,
Yeah, okay.
each person. Each
And
person.
also, I was
was
the only one who actually has been using the gear. I threw a bunch of it at
Yeah.
when we did the
No,
lockout.
true,
I was
true,
throwing a
true.
bunch of
No,
stuff.
Gibbs has too. Gibbs has very
Yeah.
pointedly used
Yeah.
some of the gear.
Yeah,
Missing
because she
some of the
got rid of the hygiene kit that I gave.
Oh, I think she might have given it to me.
Yeah,
On
you
that
got the field kit, Ari. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
on that note, what time is it, Mr. Voice in the Sky?
Right now,
4:30?
getting close to about 4:30.
How's the sky?
Getting darker.
We should prepare for venturing out.
All right, team, we ready? She looks at Bubs only.
While we're not going undercover, we should try to maintain a low profile. They are going to know that we're coming.
Echo's also going to pull Bubs aside for a quick moment. If you don't mind, I have some words of encouragement for Bubs.
How
We'll
about
meet
it?
you outside.
We go out. Shade and Spice go outside.
Smoking cigarettes!
As,
And I'm gonna talk to you again.
as the mention of clocks, Bubs is gonna. I mentioned Bubs on his communicator. He has an analog watch, and he's just gonna stare at it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and he doesn't realize everyone's left.
What is it?
About the proposition from William the Pleaser regarding a sample of the mutagen. Since the frog and its ooze is no longer a viable option, we are left with... It is in the jar.
I have my own little sample of it.
Oh, Echo
Yeah.
didn't know that.
No, I actually,
And I'm gonna pull out.
I have a sample of it that I took.
Ah, that is much more useful than the option I was going to suggest, and they put one of the syringes from their med kit on the table.
What were you... I don't...
It's a pretty long syringe.
I'm not comfortable with needles.
Stick it up your ass.
Shade leans
He's
in.
more comfortable with
I am sorry, but this ooze does provide a solution to your dislike of needles. However, it does not provide a solution to where the mutagen will go once it has left William the Pleaser's hands. If you would like more information about Spice's debt, and indeed the people who are coming after us, we have very little time before William the Pleaser decides to leave, if we wish to conduct that business proposition.
I know. It's everything I've been thinking about. It's everything on my mind, and I can't hold all these thoughts in my head, but
Well, now is the time to rid yourself of one of them. Unfortunately, a decision needs to be reached now, and unfortunately, I cannot make it for you.
he said he'd be there until the end of the night. We don't have to decide now.
I do not believe he will wait past midnight. Doing so now, before we have a chance of injury, is the best option.
I can't give an answer, Echo. There's so much on my mind. Can we talk about this later?
Echo looks like they want to push, but decides not to, and says, I understand, Bubs. Let us go outside and join the team.
And I wanted to ask you, if something does happen, will you take care of my bonsai tree for me?
Echo, has a little,
dying.
hint of a smile and says, I shall, Bubs.
Just write a fucking will.
Yeah,
you
what the
guys.
fuck? Stop dooming yourself this session. I don't like it. Stop it!
And Echo
You're gonna live.
catalogs that in the back of their brain, but also puts the syringe back in their medkit.
Okay, no problem. Shade, Spice, are you guys doing anything in the meantime?
I wanted to have a brief conversation as we're probably just standing by the car waiting for people smoking ciggies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spice, you can telepathically link with people, correct?
On demand.
If we make it through this, I would request that you do so with me.
What do you mean if? Why is there an if?
Our plan is not very well formed, to be perfectly honest. There's a very low probability that we'll succeed in this.
I hate that. That means somebody's gonna die, and you know who it's gonna be? It's gonna be me, Shade.
No.
Yes?
No.
Yes? What do you
That's
mean,
not what
no?
it means. We're going to make it through, one way or another. Whether or not we succeed is a different story. If we do succeed, that will be good. But if not, we'll deal with the consequences later.
Then what is failure to you?
Beyond not successfully capturing Dr. Maldross, the death of any of our crewmates.
Exactly.
Which is why we won't fail that aspect.
Okay.
When we finish the mission,
Good.
I would request that you telepathically link with me.
Do you want to right now? What do you need to say, Shade? To say it right now.
I've become curious about myself. I think you might be able to help.
She intentionally twitches her antennas.
Now is not the time for that, though. We have more pressing matters to attend to.
Don't leave me on a cliffhanger, Shade.
That's what I do.
And then about that time, the door opens up, Bubs and Echo comes out. And as you all pile into the car and get ready to move on, this is where we're going to step away for our break.
What? Really? Already?
It's
Oh my
8 o'clock.
God.
I
We've
mean,
been planning.
yeah. So it is 8 o'clock. Or it is 7:55. We're going to be right back in about 10 minutes at 8:05. Thank you for hanging out with us if you have, and we'll see you then. Thank you for sticking with us through
Oh
the
my
break.
God.
If you did, wow, I'm so glad there's not broken glass everywhere. Welcome
I can't
to
leave my moon to my life
Dangerous
hanging.
to Starfinder.
No. We have-
Dangerous.
We have couples glasses now,
Yeah,
so if we
yeah.
die tonight, it will be all for nothing.
I have my.
That's
JoJo's
kind of,
Bizarre
but that's a
Adventure glass.
bad jinx because this is a table where as soon as you get your Hero Forge Mini or something like that, you die. So
It's true.
yeah, it's
I didn't know
dicey.
that.
Yeah, that's what happened with Gunter. Got the
Yeah, but
nice
Gunter came
fresh-
back 1,000 times.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about
We
that.
got the
This
Hero
miniature
Forge
came
Mini.
literally the day after he died.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It's such a great mini
Oh, it
too.
really
Oh,
is.
I love
That
it.
just means Spice and Bubbles are gonna come back 1,000
So,
times.
You are all
Haunt
in your
Mosaic
rented
Team
car
5.
and making your way towards TerraMater. Now, you've already stashed jet skis underneath this pier relatively nearby. What direction are you approaching from?
Probably right up the main gate, right?
Okay. So you take this drive. It only takes you maybe 5 minutes to get from 13 Whispering Palms Road to TerraMater. It's a pretty direct shot along a main artery and then just taking a left. And then as you get to this one road, the road that leads directly there, there's this main intersection that you get to. Huh?
I have my jetpack on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you can see, weirdly, it's like Bubs is leaning way forward because he has his hammer and his jetpack on. He's almost like folded over
The
to the
hammer's on
side.
his butt.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, fair enough.
Oh.
No problem. You make your way past this intersection, and as you get onto a road off to your right, there's this big nature preserve, just like grasses, hills, a couple trees dotted over there, but there's nothing. This is the only land that you've seen that's not developed in this town, and it's in the center of Aura's Bay, right in the downtown area, right off of this huge set of piers. It's weird. And as you go down off to the left, there are more rocks and trees, and you're realizing as you round this 90-degree bend, nobody can see you from the main town anymore. You pull up, and there is a check sort of house. You can see like a guardhouse where somebody would normally be stationed. You're pulling up right around 5 o'clock when this place is, for all intents and purposes, closed. There is nobody there. This little thing is down to close your way. But Shade, as you pull up, are you just pulling straight up to the gate?
Probably, yeah.
No problem. Silently, it opens up.
Yeah, they know we're coming.
What a welcome.
Pausing there for a moment, can I remote into the security terminal in the thing just to see, is that connected to the same one that I already have a back door to?
Make a computer's check. The car comes to a stop. The hydraulics give a little bit of a protest.
While they're checking the back door, Echo's kind of just like keeping a lookout.
Sure. You smash your way into this computer system. You see there aren't countermeasures, and that's very weird to you. And then as you get a little bit deeper and begin to pull apart the nodes and access the various bits of information, you see there are countermeasures. There is a minefield that can be activated. It's underneath the road and can be turned on and off. It's currently inactive. But everything has been pulled away. There's a firewall that is unactive. And then in the central node that you gain access to first, there is just a single document. It's a Word file.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna open it because it seems like this is something that they want us to see.
Sure. Give me just 1 second here. Go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw, please.
It's a virus.
As you access this lone file, yeah, this is here for me, you open it up, and there are no words. It is just a blank document.
It's cocked. 10.
You feel almost like this blank document seems to find a very nice place at home. You just kind of file it away. It's weird that they would leave a blank document, and part of you suspects that that might have some kind of malware, but you close your eyes, you run a quick system scan, nothing.
Shit. Well, is it something where I would like recognize that I've been infected with malware, or is it something that?
Make a flat intelligence check.
Please be smart. Please be smart. Please be
That's
smart.
pretty smart. What's my intelligence though? I think. Where is intelligence?
It's in your
I've
ability
never been a
stats.
player in Starfinder. I do not know.
That's a 23.
Okay.
Yeah, smart. Smart.
As you see this blank document, your heart sinks a little bit. Nobody would do this. This is a sophisticated system. Though you don't feel anything and your scans come up clean, you can't believe that. There is almost certainly something happening within you, although nothing apparent. You don't feel any weird ticks, your vision isn't shifting, you don't feel any power fluctuations, but definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay. Storing that in the back of my brain, and I'm gonna tell everyone. I believe my exocortex has been compromised.
Fuck. We're not even there yet.
Do you require assistance in checking it?
Nothing shows up when I run scans.
That does not answer my question.
I don't think that there's anything that you'll find that I didn't already.
Understood.
You guys should just.
Spice saying that?
Yes.
Spice
you
leans over
guys
from the
should,
back
like, do
seat.
Again, you can't
Oh, wait.
tell where Echo's eyes are looking, but Echo looks over at Gibbs and just like.
I can't read your expression.
Gibbs' his whole face is just pressed into the window. You can see condensation as she's breathing, just like looking at all the stuff outside.
On that note, and Echo kind of like, should I proceed?
We should continue.
And Echo like pulls the car forward.
Sorry.
The engine kicks over and you continue forward without any problem. As you pass this gate and see there are these huge rocky outcrops on either side, Spice,
Yeah.
go ahead and make a flat intelligence check. Actually, I would say this is you make a culture check using your knowledge on military stuff.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Culture. Please be good. 17.
Okay. As you look at the bluffs that make up almost like they make this place into a valley. And you can see that at one point this may have been one large dune and areas in the center cleared away to make space for this lab, but very much it feels like a bowl. There is an element of this that feels in your military training very much like you're being funneled into something. This feels more and more as you get closer and closer like a trap. There isn't necessarily another way that you can go about this. You need to get this guy, but more and more you're like looking at the bluffs, waiting to see like the flash of somebody's scope. It feels like you're being funneled towards something.
She's going to express that by kind of reaching against the walls of the car, being like, guys, we're being funneled into a trap. I can feel it. We can't go in this way.
Unfortunately, there is no alternative.
What about your fucking jet skis?
Those are to get us out, not to get us in.
We
There is
knew
no
that they
waterway
were
into the
expecting
lab.
us. This is all what we've planned.
We assumed they would be expecting us.
So we're just gonna straight up walk into their trap?
If we are aware it is a trap, we will be prepared for what we find.
By holding up our arms and going, it's a trap.
If that is the distraction you wish to provide, I am not one to criticize.
Oh, so I am falling for the trap. Okay. Alright. I see how it is.
I'll lean over to Spice and just whisper,
If anything happens, grab onto me and we'll jet out.
You continue driving, making your way closer and closer. Now, as you get really close, there is a perimeter fence, and you can see at the base, every 15 feet or so, there is what looks like a small battery or a fuel cell of some kind. You can tell almost immediately this is generally electrified. Also, every 15 feet along the top, you can see currently out, providing no light, these small blue bulbs, which you imagine would probably would there be power running to this thing? It seems inert. The doors here do not open automatically, probably requiring power, but there is nobody at the station guarding this place. This seems, for all intents and purposes, unmanned.
Echo leans out the driver window and pulls out their less important pistol
Okay.
and aims at one of the fuel cells.
Okay.
And looks at the rest of the crew and says, I don't believe a hack will be enough for this. If we were to take out one of the fuel cells, as they already know we are here, this would provide an easier escape.
I don't understand what you're doing. What? Why would you take
I
it
intend to shoot a fuel cell.
and have it explode?
It will be disabled from the fence, and we will have a wider opening from which to leave. A section
Alright.
that is not electrified.
Okay.
Of course, if I were to have a knife, I could potentially disconnect wires, but all I have is a gun. Thank you.
With a flash and a flourish, a knife is proffered to you from Shade.
I will return in a moment. Please watch my back.
Go ahead and make, I would say with that, probably an engineering check.
Spice is going to draw one of her weapons to cover.
Okay. Especially feeling so closed in here, you begin like scanning the sort of horizon of the space.
15.
So we're all out of the car at this point.
Up to you.
Okay. I
You
guess
see
I was
Echo
just
go
thinking,
closer to this fence, bend down, and with Shade's knife, you pry off the panel. And reaching in, you can see various wires. You have a good background. And as soon as you pry it open, you recognize it's already disabled. And so very easy. You don't have to worry about electrocuting yourself. And again, Spice, you look over at Spice, and Spice is like, just like looking back and forth, very paranoid. And for the first time, you feel that is somewhat justified. Somebody turn this off. It's like you're being welcomed in. And certainly they could turn this back on at any time. And thinking about that, you pop some of the wires free of their housing and make sure that that can't happen. You would imagine you now have a 15-foot span where they cannot reactivate that electricity without manually reattaching these wires.
They're expecting us. Let's just go in and talk.
I don't think we're going to be doing a lot of talking.
I agree. Please ensure all weaponry is fully loaded.
I hate this.
As do I.
Then let's try to talk it out.
I do not believe we have that option any longer.
Why?
We have something they want.
She turns to Bubbles. Is that who? Is that what they want?
Bubs is going to be looking at his comm at the analog clock. That's just slowly moving.
Is that what you're implying?
It is. And they will most likely kill all of us to get it.
So why did we come here?
We have to
Because they
come
will
here.
find us regardless. And 500,000 credits.
500,000 credits isn't bad.
I'm going to just put my hand on the side of her back.
Babe, we'll be fine.
Okay.
May I remind you, the resources we have through Mosaic will only increase the higher our rankings go, which will lead to more safety for you and Bubs, should those who seek to capture you arrive.
Spice like swallows super hard and doesn't respond.
Before we go in, can I go to the trunk of the car where we have presumably the drone?
Sure, yeah.
And I would like to activate it and set it on like sort of a perimeter recon.
Yeah,
Keep-
this is a cool drone, and you can actually set parameters over where it will patrol with your Infosphere connection. As long as it remains connected, you are able to control it and move it to get vantage points from outside and above.
Cool.
It's very cool, and it can. It's called a loitering drone. It can do that for up to an hour.
Just quick spec question about the drone.
Yeah.
Is it able to be used over the internet?
It requires an Infosphere connection. It is a point-to-point connection, so it's not going to. You wouldn't be able to, in theory, you wouldn't be able to intercept it from the public Infosphere.
You have to get like an app on your comm and then use that to connect to
You have to pair it.
Exactly. But that should. And even in your time with this group, you've seen people who can do some pretty cool stuff. I mean, who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I'd probably set it with my exocortex. Also, keeping in mind that my exocortex is probably gonna be fucky. So, like, want to have some sort of emergency disconnect so that they can't take control of it.
Okay.
And then probably set it to just like scan the perimeter and like have it sort of on passive mode for my exocortex so that I can keep eyes outside.
Okay. Anytime that you want to check, just say that you want to check in with it, and I'll tell you what you're seeing.
Cool.
No problem. You all watch as Shade takes this, roughly like the size of a pizza box. It's black and angular. It has these strange shapes that you would imagine help defeat things like radar detection. And it has these 4 helicopter-like designs that as it like sparks off and goes from your vision in a very limited range, you can kind of like watch yourself as it goes off, and then you lose that particular ability as it gets further. And it requires a bit more of a concentration.
I'm gonna.
Oh, it's probably just really low.
I'm gonna.
For the music?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
little bit.
turn to the group.
I think a good game plan would be if something happens and we're fired upon,
I see what's happening. Sorry.
I'll take Spice with my jets and move her out of the way.
Bobby, stop it.
Shade, you grab Gibbs, and Echo, you can handle yourself. You're fast enough to avoid anything. Sound like a plan?
In other words, should we be fired upon, you wish us to scatter.
Scattered from the bullets, but not scattered from each other. We need
May
to stay
I
together.
offer an alternative?
Go ahead.
You are their target. Provide a distraction.
I don't know even who's watching. But done.
Shade will go to the security office, and I shall liberate some files.
Dr. Maldrow's office.
I don't know.
What if you guys just go and he's there just like taking a nap in his office? You guys just like pick him up and take him.
Do we have to take him alive? Wait, do we have to take him alive?
No,
It's optional.
Sweet!
not optional. It's his research. That is a
Distraction.
very important part of this bounty.
So you're saying we should split up then?
No.
That feels
Yes,
like a
that's
actually,
what you
that
said,
is
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
You gain control of the security office. I shall liberate files along the way, while Spice, Bubs, and Gibbs handle the first contact. We shall return once the security office is secured, and I have the files, and we can continue together.
Okay. Everyone knows
Okay.
the plan.
Sounds good.
Break.
We're going in.
There you
Be
go.
prepared for resistance, Shade. We did formulate this plan at the front door.
Yes.
You guys are like there. You turn. There's like 30 people just like looking at you from the other side of the window.
Are they coming in yet?
My shift's actually over. Can we?
They're still talking.
Do I get OT for this?
Did they not plan anything before?
We're having last words. Please enjoy some calming music for your comfort.
The piano just starts again. All right. So
You want to save it?
you all make your way closer. Now, which way are you entering? Are you entering just straight in the main way?
Going
Are
to
there
the
any
main
like,
door.
open windows or anything?
No. Interestingly, this is a place built without windows.
I think Bubs flashes back to his time in the orphanage and remembers that.
It's hard because Prime Station, a space station, doesn't have windows in a lot of parts of it.
Yeah.
There are no sweeping views.
I imagine
especially-
they have like fake lighting in
Oh,
Prime
yeah, for
Station,
sure,
like fake artificial suns and like fake grass and trees and fake skies, but there's probably still no windows.
No,
Yeah.
certainly not. So you make your way closer and closer, coming to an area marked arrivals, I believe, and
Check-in /
check-in.
arrivals.
There you go. Give me 1 second here. So as you pull forward, you can see there is an area where a corrugated steel door could be pulled down and secured, but it is open. You see, you've been to one very similar, actually behind the Mosaic Fox. There is a loading dock in front of you. Off to the left, there are a number of pallets, pallet movers, things of that nature. There is a central staircase that goes up to what looks like frosted glass doors.
that's like here.
Correct. And you would see above that it says reception. Off to the left, there is an open, what looks like doorway that leads to a hall that then bends around the corner. Same thing off to the right. And then you see straight ahead of you a short corridor to a circular area on your map that is marked as the restrooms. Additionally, you do know that there's a few offices and some of the more public areas off to the right, presumably for staff to stay in or people who are making trucking runs to stop over and rest.
We should proceed to general reception. There, we can
agree.
stage our distraction.
Is the breaching charge a remote thing?
No. I mean, technically yes, but
It's got like a limited range.
it's got a 6-foot range because it has a
Okay.
6-foot
Okay.
detonation cord. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's not something that we could.
This
go
is one of
plug
those things
in.
you go and you
Yeah.
go to the side and you go breach and you
Yeah.
press the button.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta yell.
That's
You
what I
gotta yell.
figured.
That's the activation word. Yeah.
Okay. I guess continue into reception and try to make my way through to security to hack into that shit.
Well, when we get to reception, I want to be ready to be received. Don't
Oh,
go
yeah.
immediately there.
Oh no, we're gonna probably come up. On
That's where
some,
I'm
like,
going to stage my distraction.
bad newses, but yeah.
You see Spice is getting ready. One button comes undone. The lipstick comes out. But no problem. You make your way forward. And as you get to the doors that are marked reception, they just slide to the side. And entering in through these, there are double doors. They disappear into the walls with these almost automated arms, and you can see the words TerraMater Applied Technology, along with its globe logo, that are beamed down from the ceiling into a holograph that floats in 3 dimensions, suspended in the middle of a crescent-shaped lobby. Several egg-shaped chrome chairs are scattered about the lobby in groups of 2s and 3s, and here and there you do see exotic potted plants that break up the otherwise metallic and sterile space. There is no receptionist here. It is very quiet. Most of the lights are off. You do see 1 or 2 probably left to illuminate the place if there is perhaps a night watchman. It is about 5:30, maybe getting close to 6 o'clock at this point. And so business for the day has ended, perhaps. But for you, Spice, who feels as if you're walking into a trap, it's like they sent everybody home.
Okay.
For what it's worth. From this room, you can see a security door that leads north. Shade, for you, you know this leads you in the direction of the Green Cornucopia Laboratories. There is a northeastern hallway that on your map is marked leading to the bathrooms. There is a door on the east. This is where you enter, check-in and arrivals. And then finally the southern door, highly secured. You read above that, stenciled in this pale green writing, privilege sector.
That's the one that goes to the hallway with the offices and the
Correct.
security. I want to see, there's no like security cameras or anything visible.
Make a perception check. Investigation check.
See if they're like actively monitoring us right now, which it seems like they are based on how doors are opening for us and everything.
Echo's kind of trying to keep an ear out for any like footsteps
Okay.
aside from our own.
Sure.
Investigation or perception?
I would say-
There's no such thing as investigation.
Yeah, it's just perception.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay. With the dirty 20, as you look around, you do see that in the corners of some of these rooms there are minute little black bubbles almost that come away from the wall. Looking at these, they do seem to be security cameras. These are not things where you can track the movement of them. You can't see if they're looking at you. There's no light.
Right, it's like one of those mirror reflective.
Yeah, very much like
ones.
that.
Yeah.
But the doors themselves not responding to those. As you like pass in and you look around, you can see there are motion sensors behind the doors that enable those. Probably not near the more secure ones, but for the public areas, those seem to still be functioning.
At the secure door, that
Yeah.
one, is there like an access panel or anything?
There is. And as you get to the right side of it, you can see it offers a space for a retina display paired with a handprint reader. This is a very secure place. When you look back and look at the other doors, nothing anywhere similar to this level of security.
Okay. And they obviously haven't opened it for me when I got close.
Correct.
Okay. Looking over at Spice, this is time for the distraction.
Okay.
I'm gonna like look over at Spice, look up at the cameras, and kind of be like, do the
Okay.
thing.
So there's nobody around, right?
Yeah, Shade's like, do the distraction. You look around. It's just your party in this room.
Okay, so she's going to.
Oh well, I gestured to the cameras.
Okay.
Well, the little bubbles of cameras.
So she's going to. Distraction. So she's going to draw her pistol.
Okay.
She's going to aim it at one of the cameras. She's going to shoot at it and go, knock, knock.
Okay.
I'm here.
While that's happening, I want to try to hack this door open.
Make a computers check.
It's me. I heard you're having a ball, and I've come as a professional bartender to offer my services.
Make a diplomacy check.
TerraMater.
Make an intimidation check, I would say, and make that at a -6 conditional modifier as you shoot the camera out and then deliver your speech to it.
Okay.
Somebody has to like run to a different camera and watch.
Like,
Ah,
still.
shit, she shot that one.
So you said -6, right?
Yeah.
17.
So somewhere far away, somebody's like furiously scrolling through different cameras trying to find a new one, and they probably catch the very end of that speech. But you wait for some kind of a reaction. None of the other little dots seem to move. You see that globe just spin in the center of the room. No reaction.
I guess they don't like booze in this place.
I got a 32.
Okay. As Spice begins to yell, you hear the echo. Like you have to flinch as this echoes in the quiet space. Not that kind of echo. I did really like that Arya's Amazon echo kept going.
I
off
know, that
really
was
quickly. However, now when I rewatch this, mine's going to go off. But with a 32, as you get close to this panel, you extend your finger and jack into it, and immediately you can see that there are countermeasures here. These are active. You can see there is a firewall, there is a fake shell, and then there's an electric grid that you are currently standing on that activates if there are 3 incorrect attempts at this door.
Okay.
That being said, you look at the nodes available to you. One of them reads security systems, one of them reads cameras upper, and one of them reads reactor override, generator override.
Okay. I would like to try and disable the countermeasures and access all of them.
Yeah, make another computers check. As Shade is doing this task, is anybody else doing anything? Spice delivers a monologue.
I want to see what the reaction of the room was, if there was any.
Echo, Bubs, any reaction?
Echo's focused on the doors and
So you fire this
Incoming.
pistol, everybody flinches a little, and
And
then
nothing
like some
happens?
people watch you, nobody else really.
I feel like
No.
Gibbs would be like throwing shit at the cameras or
Bubs,
something.
Gibbs is like going through their trash right now.
So much for distraction, then.
Bubs
I
is
don't even need to
going-
do this.
To like put his hand like on the chair,
Mhm.
like the bubble kind of chair.
It's all the same. The same furniture, the same kind of plants, the same color. It's the same white, neutral, clean
Baba.
glass. Everything's the same.
They may
Isn't
have
that bad?
added green and brown to their logo, but a lot of this is very similar.
And he's gonna look up. Does he see an analog clock?
When you look around and hear, you don't see any. And that is weird. You're used to always hearing that ticking. You don't hear anything like that here. But as you look around, I would say go ahead and make a perception check.
That is an 11 plus 8, 19.
Okay. You look around, there are elements that you do see that very much match up with things in your memory. You can see vents that all flow along the ceiling. Dr. Maldros hated a dirty floor, and so he found that vents would often accumulate dust around them, and he didn't like that at all. So ceiling-based vents. There are elements that you can see that part of your aversion to germs stems from the fact that you grew up in an incredibly clean environment. And much as I said, these plants break up the sterility of this place, this is a sterile environment. There are definitely similarities.
Wait, you said there were plants or were not?
There are several exotic plants that nothing is from
Non-synthetic.
Oro's Bay. They're actual growing organic plants. Yes.
I got a 26.
It's the same. It's
And he's gonna just like, kind of like hold himself, like stumble a little bit, and like grab himself and kind of like fall, a little bit, like and like a. It seems like someone's like falling, like like grabbing their chest, and it's kind of like one of those falls.
Like a stagger.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
like
the
a-
Life Alert commercial, but
Yeah,
Help, I've fallen.
Get up.
and he's just gonna like fall into the chair, like but like not like a laying back, but like in the wrong position.
Like a
falling.
swoon.
it's
Into the chaise lounge.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of those.
Into the chaise lounge.
it's all coming back. It's
Bubba, you can't do this, can you?
His hands are shaking.
I have this. It's like the urge to clean, but it's not the same. I'm going back to.
You're not going anywhere. Stay
Folks.
with me.
Focus.
It's like I was the same old Bubsy, the scared little kid who was just a deaf little mute, and you'd only know he was in the room by how clean it was.
You are here to take back that experience. Focus. Take one deep breath. Look at Spice and your fellow teammates. We are here for you.
And Bubs is going to listen to Echo's advice. And when he hears the word breathe in, he thinks back to his I can't even say it.
Affirmative.
His
Affirmation.
self-confident building skills.
There you go.
And he's going to think that it's not just personal sayings that build you up, but it's the people around you. And when Echo said that, it kind of just clicked. And he like calms himself. He stops shaking.
You're right. We have to continue. Thank you.
Any luck, Shade, on the door.
as you get a 22, and you begin
26.
to interact. 26. Okay, that's good.
That's okay.
So, visualizing this, as you look upon the information space that you see, it looks like a vast and continuous wall. In this digital place, looking up and around, you can see the impulses of electronics and programming running. To anybody, this might be a chaotic space, but for an android, it's almost like being underneath a sky. And you see these signals and these impulses as almost clouds and wind that just moves across the space. But this wall stops everything. It is vast, and it is powerful. But something about walls that is almost impossible to protect. If a wall doesn't have a way to actively maintain it, there are many ways that you can defeat it. Going through this would be almost impossible, so you don't. You go underneath. You go into the, you basically press Control P, and what that does is it forces a text dialog to pop up and say that it cannot bring up a print menu. You take that menu box, and as you access it, you go straight into the task menu, pull that up, and begin to create your own profile, basically starting it from root.
Mm-hmm.
And you dig underneath this wall, popping up on the other side with no problem.
Nice.
You can see on this side here, directly within your reach, there are cameras that are on the upper area. It says cameras upper. You can see that there is a countermeasure. Give me 1 second here.
The electrical.
The electrical grid that connects the exterior perimeter wall, there are actually 2 perimeter walls. You have not seen a second, but the one that is electrified is currently marked disabled. You could turn that on if you wish.
Well, I don't think I want to do that right now.
Fair enough. You can also tell, based on this information, this does not connect to it, but with that roll, there is tertiary power sources to something that this is not connected to, but it's still impacting the performance. You can tell that should the power go out, this would get kicked up from something else. And those power sources are vastly overrated for something like a computer, a firewall, lights. So you would imagine, as you progress through and continue, you've seen Spice looking a little bit paranoid, and you as an android can read that Echo feels uneasy sometimes. You're beginning to feel uneasy too. Because that power source, this is beginning to feel more and more less like a laboratory and more like a labyrinth, and labyrinths are always trapped. And that is what you know.
Shade. Any luck?
Yes. One moment. Can I unlock the door with the security door? I'll unlock the security door.
You unlock the security door.
Because it was the cameras, it was the electrical grid, and then it was security, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So, what you find as you open this door, right here through the room, there's a short hallway that then leads to a much larger hallway. Off to the left, though, before you get there, you pass what looks like just a conference room. You can see stenciled above it, it says something like private conference room. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's Office of Administrator Pricus.
Let me see that real quick.
Public Relations Conference Room.
Public Relations Conference Room. That's the one. Looking to the left, you see a long oval table, a lot of spinny chairs just kind of circling around it. This looks like a place, I would say, go ahead, whoever wants to make a sense motive check. You turn the corner.
Can everybody?
Yeah, of course. That's why I said anyone who wants.
Oh wow! I got an 18.
Nice. So like a 16?
I got a 16 as well.
Oh no, I got +3. So that's
Hey.
I also got a 16.
This is
Okay.
cursed.
And I got a 7.
I have the highest sense motive. What is the first in this game? And I have like a base skill that I beat everyone in.
So you guys all walk in here, and Bubs, as you see this conference room, there is something about it that really reminds you of something. It's hard to bring it back, and then you remember Harbinger. You had met with somebody in this
Fuck.
conference room out of the way. It's not the Harbinger that comes up, but you remember that was specifically designed to be like, oh, here we go. This is like a fancy place for us to meet. This is a place out of the public eye. You think about something and you pull up the map. You can see everything relating to the public facing, all to the north. This is the first thing past the security door. If you were going to say somebody, hey, I'm going to show you the secret stuff, you could bring somebody here and show them some bullshit, and they could just walk away thinking they saw everything. This is very much a conference room that's designed to deal with the public when they get too close to the secrets that are here. And you feel that almost innately. And as you turn the corner, there's this woof of nostalgia. This long corridor with offices off to the left. You can see not a straight column. This is a corridor that has small angles that go up on the sides. And for the very first time, you can hear in this hallway, somewhere, a clock.
Stop, Shade.
And I'm gonna like reach out. I don't think I'm close enough to like grab his shoulder, but I'm like make the motion.
Sure.
Do you stop?
Yeah.
I remember from Harbinger Robotics and maybe a little bit from my time in the orphanage. They do these fake shells, these sort of fake conference rooms, you know, to make people feel like they're getting the inside secret rooms, but there's nothing really there that's valuable or information. I
And-
think this is it.
With that roll, you look down this corridor, you see these offices. What are the chances that these offices are real?
I don't even know if these are real. They seem so... I mean, look at it. There's no personal effects on the table. There's nothing here. It seems very...
And as you reach that
Empty.
middle one, the one that's marked Dr. Maldras, you hesitate, Bubs. You don't really want to see it. You have this suspicion, and you're not sure which is worse. If it was just an empty office, or if it looked exactly like you remembered it.
Everything's a cake.
Everything is a cake?
The cake is a lie.
I gotta stop looking at chat. So,
Guys,
this office,
At the end.
if you force yourself to look around, this is certainly a show. You do see, Bubs, a photo of Dr. Maldras. Weird that he would have his own photograph, first of all. But certainly that would sell that this is his office.
That photo.
There are degrees on the wall from the United Solari Republic Advanced Science Wing, from some place called NYU, and from the Floridian Scientific Commune. If you look, kind of crane your neck around, you can see a desk. There are drawers. There is a little laptop on there. But there are very few personal effects. And there are no plants. And this is not where the clock is coming from. There is no clock in this room.
And I hear that sound. Don't you guys hear that tick?
Do we hear it?
Make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Oh!
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, I got a 27.
I like how everybody rolls well on one thing, and then the next time
No.
everybody rolls bad
It's,
on the
it's
next
on a
thing.
thing that has no
Doesn't
consequences.
matter
They
to
hear a
any of us
freaking
except for
clock.
Sarah,
I
everything
feel
has
like
consequence
fucking
in this
Captain
game.
Hook over here. You've got the fucking alligator clock or something.
Yeah.
Bubs, you direct your attention to this, and for the first time, you all hear it, but you are acutely aware. This is not a clock, at least not coming from a local place. It is just as loud at the start of the hallway as it is in the middle. Echo, with the natural 20, you tune in immediately. This is a sound effect that's being pumped into this room. Very purposefully. And as you look over at Bubs, who is like frantic, you would imagine that it's being done to slightly unravel him. And as you walk
I
down
look
this
over
place,
at Spice.
Spice returns a gaze. She just glares at you.
I told
Oops.
you.
I do hear the noise, but there is also something to be aware of. It is non-directional, which means it is coming through the sound system. I believe it is purposefully being piped in to disrupt any confidence you might be gaining. They are worried.
Why would? No, that makes sense.
Just try and stay focused. And I'm gonna head to the security.
okay.
Do I don't hear
Security
anything else,
bay.
right?
You don't hear any what?
I don't hear anything else, right?
With the natural 20, as you guys begin to walk down, what I will say,
Fuck, they know about
what I will say is as you're walking, you do note that there is a light on in the security office. The door to the security space, just like the other ones, probably splits and lifts into the walls, but in the central window, as you get a little bit closer, you peer up and you can see in the room kind of zigzag looking desk that's almost like a Z. The long part of it is like flat and facing you, and there is a lone security officer sitting behind there. You can see sort of a crew cut. He has a big bushy mustache. He has one arm in a sling, and you can see at the moment just kind of like tapping away on his keyboard. I would say make a sense motive check.
Fuck.
Uh-oh. Android sensing motives.
It's an 11.
Just another foot soldier of this evil laboratory.
What about the other offices? What do those look like?
Peeking into these, very similar, though you don't recognize the names necessarily. They have a couple degrees. But are you going through these drawers and stuff?
Echo's just kind of like peeking in the doorway to
Sure.
see if anything looks mildly out of place.
Nothing, to the point that when you move the door, you see on the floor tiny, almost not in Dr. Maldross's fake office, but in the other ones, like little bits of cobwebs, dust that kind of open as you open them.
But not-
Nobody's opened these.
But not in Dr. Maldross's office.
Not in Dr. Maldross's office.
It might take a little bit of time, but I suggest we look in the office anyways. It is cleaner than the rest.
Can I feel around for anything in the room that has the same aura around it like Bubbles has?
I see what you're saying. Make a perception check. Take a +2 conditional modifier. That's a very specific thing that you're looking for. And I would argue, out of everybody, probably in the universe, you know how it feels more than anyone else.
Intimately aware.
27.
Okay. You watch as Spice enters, just kind of like almost dowsing rods with their hands. You don't feel anything like that. But as you're moving around, you do notice, just like all the other desks, they have drawers. Are you looking at any of these?
Yeah, I'm feeling around for stuff.
Sure. You open the first one, ready to feel the aura of every paperclip, every staple, anything to keep Bubbles safe. And it's empty. The second drawer, empty, empty.
This is fucking
The bottom
bad
one,
dream nightmare.
there's a bag.
Oh.
Interestingly, it's a leather bag, black, maybe about this long. There's a zipper along the top and a handle. You can see what looks almost like maybe like a blue paste or something that's caked into the side on one angle. It looks to be full of stuff. That is the only thing that's really in this office that's out of place.
Can I use my psychokinetic hand to open it?
Yeah, you can.
'Cause I still want to use my real hand.
From the other side of the room, kind of backed up, you reach telepathically out and grab onto this. And using the abilities innate to you as a Lashunta, you open this drawer all the way. And the bag is there. If you want to take it, you can lift it out, drop it on the floor, no problem.
Yeah. She does that.
It lands pretty heavily. Sounds like there's multiple things inside.
Can I open this sack with the psychokinetic hand?
I would say that's a little bit fine-tuned manipulation. The kinetic hand is meant to more like shove or yank things. It's not really meant to like.
I can't open it.
Yeah.
Does it? Okay.
I think when you get higher level, if you're casting it as a spell, when you upcast it, there's things that it can do, but I don't think you can manipulate little things.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna go over to it. Does it? It's just a bag.
Seems to be leather, perhaps fake leather.
Okay, I'm just gonna touch it and open it.
Okay. You watch the spice taps the bag. Nothing explodes.
Before I actually enter or try to enter the security.
Okay, hang on one sec. Let me get back to that.
Yeah.
Spice. Zzz, you open the bag. Spread it apart. You see a can of shaving cream. You see toothpaste, a toothbrush. You see a little plastic case that looks like it might hold contact lenses. Make a sense motive check.
Ooh, 11.
Ah, weird.
It is weird.
You
So
sense
the-
no motive.
So you said contact lenses, right?
Yeah.
She's going to pull them up. Is Echo near me?
Yeah, Echo's guarding the door.
I'm gonna hold them up to Echo because Echo has fancy eyes. And be
You've
like,
got fancy
my-
eyes.
she's gonna hold up the
Special eyes.
contacts like right next to Echo's eye and be like, and inspect them next to each
My
other.
brand! Spice thrusts a contact lens case into your face.
Are these like yours?
Decidedly not. There is. I mean, like, are they?
You gonna open it up?
Sure.
You open up the top of this contact lens case, and inside just floats little soft contact lenses. Echo, make a sense motive check.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
I'm an android, though.
Okay. But still,
That's
that's
a
high.
23.
As an android, you've had the misfortune of working in courier companies, and you've had coworkers. None quite as colorful as this group. But you have observed humans and other races who come to work and work long hours sometimes, need to attend to some personal needs over the course of that time. If you had an office, even a shell office that was relatively close to the entrance of a building, this would be a great place to dump a shave kit. You're basically the stuff that you need to freshen up. And you remember, Gibbs told you this dude does not leave this place. So
I
this
thought-
seems to be like a personal item drop for him.
These are not in any way related to my eyes. After all, I do not require contact lenses. However, I also do not require overnight bags with which to freshen up, and I believe this might be that. I don't believe it is very important.
Okay, Spice is gonna like keep the contact lenses in her hand and stow away the other stuff.
No problem. You can add that to your inventory.
Shave kit.
What are you doing before you enter the security?
Checking on the drone, see if there's any activity outside.
You close your eyes, and as you kind of pull up the feed of this drone, you see it's just like circling overhead. Very steady is the film, and it's infrared. You can see here and there little birds in the trees. You see like a monkey poop into its hand and then drop it into the floor. It's like crystal clear vision, and you almost wish it wasn't sometimes. But there isn't really anybody seeming to creep up on the base. You don't see any new cars that have arrived. It seems pretty quiet outside.
Okay. Then I'm going to attempt to enter the security terminal.
Yeah, no problem. As you get close to the security door, it slides to the side, and this guy sitting there at the counter, this other random soldier of this evil laboratory, evil as he truly must be, looks up. You see this like bushy mustache. His hand is on a sling, and he just goes, "The fuck? What? I'm sorry. What are you doing here?"
I want to knock him out.
How are you gonna knock him out? So. Let me give you some context.
Oh. Spice is going to draw her lipstick can and apply it so she doesn't cast sleep on herself, but get ready to.
So for some context, you are entering through these doors.
Okay.
This is him with the desk in front
Oh,
of him.
okay.
You can see a huge monitor with multiple security cameras that are up there. You also see on the side these two cylinder of metal that seem to go up about a foot from the ground.
These two?
Yeah. And then you see locked up, although you can actually see through the mesh of this, a number of rifles and weapons in what is clearly like a secure weapons storage locker.
Are the two little canister things like security drones going to pop out of them?
Hard to tell. Definitely a possibility.
I would like to attempt to.
You see, his one hand is beneath the desk, but he looks at you and he just goes, "Nobody's supposed to be here."
I would like to attempt to get the drop on him using my jump jets to burst forward and like pin him to the ground.
Okay, so go ahead.
And then I'm going to also get my net gun ready to shoot him into a net. Or I want to tie him up.
Make an acrobatics
check.
check.
I don't want to.
And this is for you to use these jump jets to propel yourself over this desk and land accurately, pinning this person to the ground. He has a broken arm. He's really suffering a disadvantage in this fight.
Cool.
And actually, let's make this fair. Oh yeah. You see, as you dive forward, his hand was like ready to do something, comes up to protect his face. He's like not even able to do whatever it was that he was going to do. But you over. What was your roll?
23.
Yeah, no problem. He goes up and he's like, "What the fuck? Nobody's supposed..." And you fly up into the air and slam down. Superhero landing him. His chair wheels over backwards, slams into the ground. He is still sitting in the chair, but now backwards, and you have him pinned onto the ground. His arm in a sling. You could see he just goes, "Ah! What? Who are you? I'm sorry. I don't even need to know who you are. I just work here."
I'm not saying anything. I'm just tying him up and securing him.
No problem. And without any real issue, you tie up this guy. As you like begin to tie him up, you can see he does wear a name tag that says Abed Yander. It just says Night Watch. You tie him up. You could see he turns around and he's just like, "Can you leave my wallet? You could take the cards out there, but it was a gift from my dad."
Do you have a preferred playlist?
That's a weird voice. No?
We're not going to hurt you.
Oh, there's two of you. He's like not
Dr.
facing you.
Maldros?
What?
Where's Dr. Maldros?
Dr. Maldros? Nobody's here. It's night. Can you turn me around so I can see you guys?
Not necessary.
I'm going to actively not do that.
Echo like pats for a communicator.
Okay. You pat him down, and on his wrist, you can see he kind of gets a sense for what you're doing. He goes, "My wallet's in my left pocket. My communicator's in my right hand. I don't have a nice watch or anything. I just work here at night."
Echo puts it in front of his face. Unlock it.
You can see he reaches forwards, and with his nose, he taps 4 numbers in, and the communicator opens.
Echo goes to like a music app
Okay, sure.
and puts on a playlist and just kind of puts it down next to him.
You see
You
one that
have to specify what you played.
it says my workout playlist, and you hit play, and all of a sudden this super like jazzercise song comes on.
It is for your comfort.
Oh my god.
Okay.
LOL.
You can see he's like really tense, like he's waiting to get shot in the back here.
We aren't going to hurt you. We're here
Ugh.
for Dr. Maldross.
Okay.
Maldross isn't even here.
Whoever it is that you want to kill, maybe you don't want to kill him. I don't know. Not up to me. There's nobody here. You are welcome to look. I just leave me. I guess. Will you let me go later?
Yes.
Question. Do you have...
Oh, there's 3 of you. How many people are behind me?
Not a concern.
Okay.
Do you have to make scheduled check-ins at certain times, or there'll be suspicion raised?
Yeah, and he kind of like gestures to his communicator. There's an app on that, and I have to tap it on a magnetic contact point on each corner of the base. I'm supposed to do it every 2 hours because fucking Charlie fell asleep, and now they're on my butt about not being awake the whole time.
Echo.
Nobody's here ever.
Echo grabs the communicator, stops the music. I apologize that we cannot provide soothing music during your capture.
I don't need music.
Is
Yeah.
there a terminal?
Yes, so right in front you can see that there is this computer, and it seems to be linked mostly to the monitors, but it is the security terminal for the station. Yeah.
While we're still having this conversation, I want to start my exocortex on like accessing this.
Yeah, make a computer stack. Actually, as you connect to it, it is unlocked. You can see there is like an infosphere video up, but it's just like cute dog does tricks, and it's like a video of a dog doing backflips in a spaceship. But like he's just like trying to pass time at work. But the console is unlocked.
Echo also like tries to angle him so that he's never like looking at us.
Yeah, I figured you kind of like just pushed him into a corner. No problem.
Yeah. Is there anything new within this security terminal?
No. This seems to be connected to this the same sort of system. Although, what I will say is, as you connect to this, you are able to see these tertiary power units you were kind of concerned about previously. They seem to expand into 3 different points over the course of this. And what I would say is, you can tell. I'll pull out the TerraMater map. Turn this around here. You can tell they're going to this hallway right here and this hallway right here, primarily. There seems to be a little bit of the power dumping into that small room as well.
Okay. So it's like abnormal amounts of power into those halls.
Correct.
Okay. What's up with these now?
Oh, you take your eyes off of this computer and you're like, he had his hand under the desk, and you look, there's a button underneath. This, not connected to this computer system, and this computer system seems to be independent of this. This is not connected to any network, a manual button that will probably activate these. What I would say is, with a little bit of tinkering, if you want, you figure out how you could activate them to see what they are without actually making them go off.
Oh, yes, I do want to do that.
As they spin to life, you see they pop up, and fairly large,
Security drones.
heavy machine guns just swivel forwards, and you can see this red laser right on your chest, and then just begins to like scan.
Okay.
Certainly. This
Are
gentleman...
you still there?
Yeah, exactly. This gentleman, not a great security guard, but his whole job was to press a button.
Not a huge ask,
No.
but he fucked up. So
He's a broken
Target
arm.
lost.
okay. So anything good in the armory that they have?
So turning over and walking to the armory, peering through, you can see there are some kind of rifle there. They're odd. You've seen Gibbs have similar things. They all seem to shoot needles.
Probably see if Gibbs wants one.
Okay. Yeah, Gibbs of
I
course
guess-
wants one.
I would. Is it unlocked or does it need to be unlocked? I would unlock it and like whoever wants shit.
This you can unlock from the terminal.
Okay.
And so without any problem, you unlock it. Give me 1 second. This
And
is the next version up of the needle rifle. And so this is a much more powerful version of what you had. But interestingly,
Gibbs had.
sorry.
You're
Interestingly,
welcome.
and there are 4 of those. Also on the wall, you can see a skateboard. And you begin to pull out, you see like there is like a pack of gum. This is doubles as like a confiscation drawer as well.
Oh, okay.
But there are these rifles, and then also there's ammunition for them. And you can see these seem to be sedatives. They are labeled as sedatives. That's all. And that is odd for a security department. I mean, he has no weapons on him. His goal is to hit this. And these weapons, as you look at these, you see ammo belts attached to them. This is not needles. This is
Right.
lethal. So why would they have a special cabinet with tranquilizer rifles?
Probably for the subjects that they were using, like the frog, in case they act up.
Perhaps.
Could I roll maybe like a history or a culture check to see if I remember anything about these kind of needles?
I would say, if you want to, make a flat intelligence check to see if it brings anything to mind from
Echo's
your
also
past.
looking for any like tactical knives,
Okay.
just like around the room.
That's
There are no tactical knives, unfortunately.
That's a 6.
A 6. Not that you can remember.
Having done all of this, I would just say to the group, bringing up the map again.
Yeah.
Say there are abnormal energy signatures here, here, and here, indicating the 2 halls
Okay.
and the room.
So you like hold this in front of his face. He nods, and then like a second
not
passes.
him.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, to the group.
Oh, okay. The group.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said a bed.
Oh no! I said
A bit.
to the group.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So that everyone is aware of what I've discovered from this terminal.
Sure.
So then we should probably go to the first one that is down the hall.
If you want to mark that too, I mean, I printed
Okay.
that off. I
Cool.
made that map,
Thank
so you
you.
can mark it up and just make a new one.
Okay. So I'm gonna do like a squiggly line for the energy.
Can I start detecting thoughts from anybody that's close to me, or that's not in our party?
Yeah, for sure. What is the area of effect? 30 feet?
Wow. I think that's a safe bet. I don't think I have very
Okay.
far.
The only
It doesn't say
thought
it on here.
that is coming from somebody that is not in your group is from this guy, Abed. The first round goes by. Certainly, you can read. He's about average intelligence, maybe a little bit above. The next round goes by, and you're able to read surface thoughts. You can read, "I am so glad I went to pee right before this." You can see he's just like, "They don't seem that bad. I think I'm gonna be okay. I just hope I don't get fired." And like he's just like real concerned about being held hostage. This is a guy you gather who works here on nights. He has no idea what is going on. He thinks a bunch of junkies might be raiding this place, and then Shade starts talking, and it seems like maybe a little more serious. But he's ultimately just hoping that he gets out of this okay.
Okay. Who's getting one of the needlers?
At least
Gibbs.
Gibbs. I don't think I need one necessarily.
I'll
so
take
if everyone
one.
else wants
Yeah.
to take one,
You
I'll
give
take one.
it to Gibbs, and Gibbs is like
because I've
holding it
already
like a
got
treasured
I've got the
possession.
net gun, I've got the gravity gun, I've got like a lot of
Bobby, you get
weird
one.
guns.
So what's it called?
This is the. Give me 1 second. Just want to make sure I give you the right name. This is the Advanced Needler Rifle. This is a level 5 weapon. And yeah.
I'm gonna turn to the guard.
Have you used these before?
The guard, you see he's like trying to turn his neck, but Echo's pushed him into the corner, and he goes, "Use what?
These sedative guns.
Me? No. No. I'm not supposed to touch them."
Have you seen them be used on someone?
I don't think they're for someone. I think they might have testing subjects like animals.
Shit.
The cornucopia lab thing. One of my kids did a project on it. They have frogs there. They're pretty big, but I don't think you would need that. I don't really know, man. Can you scratch behind my left ear?
Bubs is going to take out some anti-itch lotion.
Nice.
He's just gonna rub it behind his ear.
She just goes, "What the fuck?"
It's cortisone. It'll help you. It's better than scratching. If you just scratch, you'll.
Look, I know you
Make you
guys
wanna
aren't going to
scratch
tell
more.
me who you are, but this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. Thank you for not hurting me. Thank you for the cortisone.
You're welcome.
What can you tell us about Dr. Maldross?
His name's on the door that I walked by on my way here.
You've never met him.
No.
Who do you usually interact with?
Oh, let me pull up his name real quick. Either Sarah or Jacinta, they work the shift before me, except on the weekends. If I do pick up on the weekends, usually it's a guy named Jerry.
Security officers?
Yeah.
You don't see any of the scientists ever?
I'll be honest with you, I've never seen a single scientist of any kind here. But I'm also not really allowed past here, so, you know.
This entire area may just be a front.
I feel like it is. We should go to the beach where
We should go further.
We should continue to the hallway with the broom closet.
it's empty.
Bubbles.
No, that's where there's the...
You're not sure if it's just you, but it's almost like the ticking is a little louder.
That's where the energy signal was.
There's nothing here.
Bubs is just going to kind of like, when you kind of have like water in your ear, he's just going to kind of like,
Don't you guys hear that?
Well, this isn't the time to be acting weird.
No, I swear I hear the ticking.
Bubbles. They're trying to get to you. Don't let them.
I know you said that, but it seems so real.
It's not. The only thing that's real right now is that all of us are here making attempts to capture
Fucking
Dr.
time
Rogers.
bomb about to go off. I want to get out of here.
Guys, is there a bomb?
That's what it fucking sounds like, doesn't it?
Can you
We need
please
to
take me
proceed.
with you?
You'll be fine.
Yes, if you fight with us, pledge your fucking life to me right now.
Guys,
We
I
do
got a
not
broken
have time
arm.
for
Time
this.
for this.
We shall continue.
He just goes, guys, please don't let me blow up. And he just starts like crying a little bit.
Okay, you're fighting with us then. If you don't want to die right now.
No, he is not. He is staying here, and we are continuing on. And Echo goes towards the door.
Yeah,
He's just
Shade's
like he's just crying. But you go towards the door, no problem.
In this security terminal, does it still have the access to the upper level cameras?
Yes.
Can I get visuals from those?
Yeah, you can. There's one that's out, but the rest of them you absolutely can.
Can I hack? Well, I've already hacked into it, but can I pull up what's in those camera feeds to see if there's
you can.
anything going on?
So which one are you pulling up?
Well, it's all the upper level stuff, right?
You
it was
see
the one that said upper level
everything.
cameras.
That extends to the security office. You also see the generator shed. You see arrivals and departures. Weirdly, one of the two reception cameras is out. There is one in the central corridor of the bathrooms, none in the bathrooms themselves. There's nothing beyond that.
So those were the upper level ones.
It's marked security, upper.
Okay. No security lower.
Not that you see.
Okay.
Make
So
a
nothing-
sense motive check, Shade.
Oh my god. This is sense motives. 12.
That's what you know.
Bubs is gonna reach into the desk and he's gonna pull out some of the gum that he saw,
Yeah, sure.
and he's just gonna like shaking his hand, like unfoil one of them and put it in his mouth and try to like do that thing in airplanes where you like chew gum to stop the sound in your ear.
Yeah, the taste of this artificial cinnamon bursts into your mouth.
Can't taste.
But oh right, you can't taste.
I'm so sorry I played a character.
I know,
dude.
no,
I've
no.
done this so many times that I just
No
feel
problem.
like, oh man.
No, it's fine. You bite into it and you feel this almost like
Feels gummy.
like a stringent taste, and for you, because you can't taste, it's almost like an alcohol, and that's reassuring for you.
Yeah.
So you feel the burn, you don't taste it, and so you're like, okay, this is good. This is very grounding.
Yeah.
Echo opens the door and says, "Fuck it," and goes through.
Great.
Yeah.
You step through into a short corridor where the tiles are slightly different than the previous hall. They're hexagon shaped, gleaming white. You see this corridor seems to extend down perhaps 30 feet to the next door, which seems to be very similar to the door that you had a Shade hack to get through. And in fact, you can actually see on the far wall there is a panel that has a retinal scan and a hand display.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Bubbles,
The hacky hacks.
What?
The
maybe
door?
your hand will work on that.
So what?
The door?
I do not have retinas.
You look, the only member of your party with 0 retinas.
I'm gonna go hack it again.
I could try.
Well, I also feel like It's gonna burn your retinas out if we try.
You're probably not in their system.
Why wouldn't he be in
Shade,
their system? What?
If you hack the door, I shall enter first, as I am the speediest member of the party.
You could enter this corridor. It's just the door at the end that you would imagine is locked. It could be open.
That's the door I'm referring
Okay,
to, and
okay,
then the hallway that we know is,
Yeah.
or
The
that
hallway,
we assume is
we're
behind it.
trying to get into the hallway with the weird energy, right? Because
Yeah,
we're in this one. There's a door here that we have to break in.
correct.
Okay, yeah, so try to break that door
Sure.
open.
No problem. So first you enter into this corridor, walking across, and these tiles, they feel a little hollow, especially for the two of you androids with metallic feet. You can feel that kind of echo even better. But you make your way to the door. You tense. And the two of you watching from the door as your android companions cross, you wait for something to happen. But nothing does. And as you near the door, slides open.
That makes me feel even worse.
Spice is gonna light up a cigarette and offer one to this quivering security guard.
Okay, so all of a sudden, he smells tobacco, and then a cigarette just appears, and he goes, "For me?
For you.
Oh my god, thank you!"
Take a deep breath, and she pats him on the back.
And you see the ash just.
Spice is also is doing that. They're
Yeah,
both
yeah.
frantically sucking them down.
He coughs a little bit, and he's like, "This is
You got another one?
bar none the strangest thing that's ever happened to me."
Me
Can you
too.
be honest? You guys aren't gonna blow this place up.
I mean, my companions over there seem to have a mission. No promises.
You seem to be a very reasonable person. Can you bring me with you if they do blow it up? I have kids. This is a night job for
You
me.
have kids.
Yes.
We'll
Shade,
get you out of here, I promise.
Thank
with
you.
your engineering experience, are there any traps that you notice in this hallway?
Knowing that there's the weird energy pattern, can I, without entering, do
Sure.
a scan of the room to see what may be causing that energy?
You approach the door, and it's very odd. In this corridor, the floor that is these tiles suddenly becomes the walls and the ceiling as well. And it's a little bit off-putting, all gleaming white, perfectly kept. It is a little discombobulating.
Kind of like that in 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Very much like
when
that.
he's going through the
It isn't
2D.
spinning,
Yeah.
but it does feel a little strange. Every surface of this hall looks exactly the same. On the other end, a security door. Looking around, make a perception check.
21.
With a 21, you look, and certainly this signature seems to be, you don't see anything that's powering, and that alone is enough to cause you to think there is something going on here. But there is no traps. You imagine, looking around, you would need to enter for them to activate, and looking at the seamless place where everything is perfectly identical, this is designed to be real hard to read.
Echo takes one of their waymarker ribbons.
Yeah.
And they just toss it in to see what happens.
Okay. Remind me again, the waymarker ribbons, they're like a flare? I can't remember exactly what they
So
are.
a waymarker ribbon is basically just a piece of.
Strip of LED light or
It's
something?
just something that you would tie as you're walking along a
Yeah.
trail to mark your way.
No problem. Okay, so they're
but
like
it has-
these lights essentially
Yeah,
all
it
around
has
us.
a little bit of weight to it.
Okay,
so
sure.
Echo's just throwing that in.
Mini glow sticks.
Yeah, I'm imagining basically a bunch of glow sticks on a
Like
string,
actual
but just much
waymarker
nicer
ribbon?
looking.
Actual
Oh,
waymarker
yeah,
ribbon.
yeah.
Yeah. This is,
So you take this and you underhand roll it, and it down into the corridor, across this sort of ceramic tile, and it comes to a stop. How long is it? Is it 30 feet of cord?
I was just chucking the tape,
Oh.
not
basically
unspooling it.
taking a roll of tape and
It just
being
rolls across the floor.
Because it's weighted and just it's
Yeah.
a weightier thing.
Absolutely.
Can I try to send out my wireless hack to see if there's anything beyond the white paneling that
Make a
with the
computer's check.
power,
Yeah, absolutely. Make a
knowing where the
computer's check.
power is coming
This
from?
is at a -6 conditional modifier because as you reach through, whatever this material is, certainly some kind of ceramic, it's almost designed to, it seems to have some kind of a Faraday effect.
Okay, so that's a dirty 20 minus 6, so 14.
14. With a 14, as you try to penetrate through, whatever this material is too thick. You cannot get a signal through to scan what's beyond. But you're sure if there is housing like this, it's to protect some kind of computer components. There is certainly something beyond.
Take out my gravity gun.
Sure.
I would like to try and shoot at the wall directly opposite, like, assuming that, like, the wall, when you walk through the door, is where the energy signal was.
Sure.
Try to shoot at that to see if I can, like, pull something loose.
Okay. You take out the
Or,
pistol.
you know, activate something without being in the room.
And you depress the trigger. There's this burst of gravity, and you try to pull it. Nothing seems to happen.
Well, perhaps if I run quickly in and out, we will get some sense of what is happening here. This seems to be the only way.
I'll be ready to do what I can.
Can I start escorting the security guard out?
Yeah, he's bound, but you kind of like get him under the
She's gonna
armpits.
unbind him, like.
Okay, yeah, sure. You're the only one there. Nobody's there to stop you. So you like having.
I think I'm still.
Oh, okay, are you
yeah.
stopping Spice?
Yeah, I think I'd stop her.
Why? This is an innocent bystander. Think about what Gibbs would say.
I think
He's scared shitless.
I think you're right. We should bring him outside, but we shouldn't untie him.
That's fine with me. Honestly, I just don't want to blow up. I'm really not sure about your friends.
Yeah, let's get you out of here. Did you hear he has kids?
I know. I heard.
Let's go.
Do I know you from somewhere?
Have you?
I mean, no offense. You just look very distinctive, and it's like.
Do you know Emma?
Who?
Emma.
I know you can't tell me, but is that somebody who like works here?
Yeah.
I don't know
care
any of
if
the
you know.
scientists. I'm
Let's-
sorry.
It's okay.
This person that you know. Are they?
It's like a feeling. I don't remember a name. I don't even really remember. It's like that deja vu thing. I just
Deja vu.
deja vu. Right? Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just like a feeling. Maybe. Don't worry about it.
We're getting closer.
It's mind affecting. What about Maldras? I don't have high enough mind affecting abilities to understand what's happening right now.
It's alright. Let's just get him outside and meet back with the group.
Okay, so we're gonna take him out the front door.
Yeah, no problem. You just kind of like jog him out to the front. Are you
Still
just
tied up?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't run away.
Rolling in the rolly chair, maybe?
Yeah.
Send your kids to a good school, as she says as she sends him off.
You could just hear, you're really weird. I hope you know that.
I know.
You just like enter the building again. He's just standing there like, all right. He like, as far as he knows, the fence is electrified. He can't really leave. His arm is broken. The other one's tied behind his back. He can't really get away.
His
Oh,
legs.
well then she's
We
just
also
gonna
tied his legs.
untie.
No,
let
no,
him
Don't let
untie
him
Bub's
free.
not gonna let her
What
Um,
He's an innocent. What is he gonna do?
Bubs is going
He's
to.
a security guard. He's gonna alert the people that we don't want to
There's
come.
nobody here.
Yeah,
But
Bubs
they'll
is
come.
Gonna,
You're also not there.
make sure he's wheeled far enough so in case the lab does explode, he won't be hurting it. And but not super far because he wants to stay with the group. So I mean, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll do a generous.
You
amount.
take about, you run like 20 steps and just kind of let him
That's
like
pretty good
coast
for
a
that's
little
pretty
bit.
good for an explosion.
Yeah, sure.
And then he'll take Spice's hand and say,
Babe, we don't have time for this.
and as he says that, the image of the clock in his head.
We don't have time for this. Nobody's dying today, including this man.
He'll be fine. We can just leave him here. Come on, we have to go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
And I'm gonna take her by the hand and like.
is
bring
he
her in.
safe where he is?
You like turn back, you can see he just gives you like a weak smile from his chair.
Okay.
I mean, relatively speaking.
He follows you back in.
You walk back in. Meanwhile, for
Echoes
you
done
two
laps in the
heroes.
hallway.
Echo's like, this is fine.
So are you just running in?
Just running in.
I'm ready to try and disable anything that activates if it's gonna, do
Yeah.
bad things to Echo.
No problem. You run in, run out. You're a little winded, but aside from that, no way harmed.
I don't feel as if I should be this winded. It might affect us androids a little bit more than the others due to our mechanical nature, but it seems to be safe. None of my biological components are damaged.
I'm gonna walk through.
Okay. You and Echo enter the hallway. You're going for the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still kind of like passively looking to see what
Yeah, make a
this
perception check.
energy
Now that you're walking
could have
through,
been. Yeah.
you enter, and as your feet find the tiles, you can kind of see there are little cracks between these. Not cracks, gaps, which would normally be filled with some kind of molding, although these have not.
Okay. This is not a great perception. 14.
14. As you walk, there's a moment where you pass by one of these gleaming ceramic tiles. You catch a sight of like your reflection. For a second, you kind of like stop. You look behind to make sure that Bubs and Spice are there. They're not. So you're like, you like have to wait a second. Bubs and Spice eventually find you, but before that, if you want, you can certainly continue on. But you don't find anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'd make it to the next door.
Okay.
And does it open up when we get to it, or
No,
okay?
this one seems locked.
Gonna.
I shall take this one if you take the next one.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're back. We just brought the guy outside.
Why did you do that?
Echo's
Spice.
gonna check for countermeasures.
Yeah, make
Gonna
a
let
computer's check.
an innocent person die.
He was perfectly fine tied up in the security terminal.
Do you hear the sound of the ticking time bomb? Because I do. And you know who it is? It's standing right next to me.
Bubs isn't going to explode.
I feel like he might.
Guys, we need to stay focused. We gotta go.
I've heard that one before.
Please remain quiet. I am trying to open the doorway.
And Echo, you turn back to the door, and as you jack in, you look for countermeasures, and certainly there are countermeasures here. But they've been disabled. What hasn't been disabled, and is very much attached to this node, are the security cameras. 4 of them. 1 in each corner of this room. There are certainly people watching. And as you get the sense that there was no wait trigger, there was no time trigger, that does begin to bother you a little bit. You see Bubs and Spice enter this hallway. All of you now in the same place.
Fuck.
Get out. Leave.
And
Leave.
because
Running,
it is
running.
9:30, as 2 of the panels at the far side of the hallway, near where you entered, flip around and a laser straight across. This is where we're going to end for the evening. So, all of you made it to TerraMater Labs, which I was a little dicey on whether or not you did not make it as far as I thought you would.
Tried real hard.
I'm very ready, but very nicely done. You didn't kill this random security guard, so that's a nice surprise.
Should have thrown him in first.
The idea
No.
was he's already injured. You guys have a lipstick that will work on an injured
Yeah.
person, so I figured that would be like a super easy, like you guys can just role play your way right through this one, which you technically did.
Yeah.
But
It was just a more physical role play.
it was, oh god. Anyhow, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. For this session of Mosaic Team 5, we will be back next week, without Matt, unfortunately, but Ari will be back. Tomorrow, if you can't wait until then, we will be playing Adventures in Alberon, session 125, I checked. That is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we head off against a very old friend. But please, this tiefling that you saw up on the top of the stairs with a pronounced set of antlers. But please stay safe out there. We'll see you next week or tomorrow night. Goodbye.
See you, Space Cowboy.